Hello and welcome to Horror Hyperfixations, where I look at horror through a neurodivergent lens. I am Sam, your neurodivergent host, and today I'm talking about cryptids with the lovely, lovely Charley Errington. If you're watching on video, this probably looks mental. I have bought a new webcam because I've been filming my intros on my phone, which is very good quality. And then I see the shitty quality that my webcam puts out. So I've got a better webcam, but I think it's struggling with the lighting in this room, even with the curtains shut. So we'll try and figure that out. So please ignore how weird this looks right now. But it's fine. We're doing it. We're doing the intro. I had an absolutely brilliant time talking to Charley. We may have created ourselves a lot of work in the form of creative projects, but that's fine. Hobbies are good. Keeping ourselves busy is good. It tries to keep the brain gramblies away, idle hands and all that. So yeah, I had a bloody lovely time talking about cryptids. I haven't ever gone into special interest territory with cryptids myself, but it's something that's really fascinated me. So I had such a great time talking to Charley. I did talk about a bunch of cryptid movies that I've seen and that I'm aware of. Charley mentions them as well. So I have made a list on Letterboxd with all of the films that we mentioned. That is linked in the show notes. Please do not take that as endorsement of these films are all good. It is just, we have mentioned these films. Watch them at your own peril. Lots of them are very good, and I talk about the ones that are really good. And just to mention, whilst I was watching this back to edit, I grievously omitted the fact that when I talked about Fox Hollow, it's not just Tom Hughes that worked on the writing and stuff. Amy Jones is also a writer and producer of the film and a performer in the film, and does a whole bunch of other stuff as well. So bad me for just saying Tom did everything. Tom doesn't do everything. Amy Jones also does a lot of stuff as well, including some beautiful tattoos and artwork for Tom's projects as well. So apologies, Amy, for omitting you. It's even worse when I omit a woman. I'm always mortified. But just a general update. I haven't really done a sort of personal updatey intro for a while. I've just been going, here's the episode, here we go. You might like that more. I used to ramble more on my intros, but since I've been trying to get all of the episodes up on YouTube as well, and I have to look at myself as I'm doing it, I'm sharing less and getting less rambly, which is probably good for a podcasting which is probably good from a podcasting perspective, but from a neurodivergent person sharing themselves with the world, which is the whole point of this podcast, is probably less good. So, yeah, I have been really lucky to find a fantastic therapist. Their name is Jay and their company is called Rebel Therapy. I will put the link in the show notes because I really, really recommend, if you're in the UK and you're looking for a therapist, I really recommend Jay. They are a non-binary, neurodivergent, queer person doing therapy that encompasses, just general therapy, which is one of the reasons I'm with them. But also they specialize in working with people outside of the norms, which why it's called Rebel Therapy. They encourage sex workers and people who want to explore kink and queerness. They want to work with actors, writers, creative people for issues with creative block and all of these things that we all struggle with, but more so in creative fields or very personal fields like sex work. So when I read all that stuff on their website, and I did have a recommendation as well, I was like, whoa, fuck, this person sounds amazing. And even though lots of the things that they specialize in doesn't apply to me, I knew that made them a person that I could literally talk about anything with. And I have been very vulnerable and shared a lot of stuff with them already. And it's helping. I know therapy isn't accessible to everybody. Therapy is such a privilege. I'm very, very lucky that after 2.5 years of fighting to try and get PIP, I finally got it. Only by going to a tribunal with legal representation. But I now have that to pay for therapy because as a neurodivergent person, I don't do particularly well with CBT-based therapy. There have been studies that show that it can be actively damaging for some people, and I feel like it has been for me. This is oversharing, but I think it's important to share this kind of stuff. Even when I've reached the point of like absolute crisis, and I phoned the like mental health board thing, just like, please help me. I need some help. I need some support. They've gone, well, we've offered you CBT and you said it's not helped. And I'm like, yeah, well, yeah, I'm neurodivergent, blah, 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 blah. And then they go, well, it'd be ethically wrong for us to offer that to you because you've said that. And I'm like, well, what do you want me to do then? Like, I can try. I'd rather have some help than no help. And they're like, no, we can't do anything. So I'm not allowed any NHS support anymore. And again, that's a very privileged thing to have NHS support. Been left to my own devices for too long. So I'm really lucky that because of this PIP, I can now pay for weekly therapy, which hopefully is gonna be helpful of like just dealing with my like everyday struggles, because I have been really, really overwhelmed recently. Personal stuff happens and is upsetting. That sucks. And I can talk to a therapist about that, but also just general overwhelm. And I've gone through a lot in the last 4-5 years. So every session, a different thing, a different thing gets unpacked. So my therapist has praised me for being honest, or as honest as I can be. I can't always be 100% honest about why I'm struggling, because it's not always appropriate to share all the intimate details of your life. And I struggle with that because I feel like I'm being dishonest when I don't say, this is the reason I'm upset, this is the reason I'm struggling. Even when you can't tell people something, I still feel like I'm being dishonest and I'm lying, and my justice sensitivity kicks in and I'm like, I'm not telling people the truth. But we're working on this in therapy. But I have been very, very overwhelmed in general, struggling to leave the house, struggling to get out of bed. Everything's really, really difficult right now. So I am trying to give myself little projects to do, like getting podcast episodes recorded now, coming up with new things, dealing with overwhelm. Give yourself more work to do, but hopefully, like I said, idle hands will keep me busy. My theory is, and obviously I don't know this for sure, but my theory is that since I've been on the ADHD meds more regularly on a level dose, that the autistic traits are creeping out because the ADHD is more controlled. I know there is anecdotal evidence of people with ADHD getting more autistic as their ADHD medication works, which is something I've been really worried about, and I have mentioned that in like videos and podcasts and stuff before, talking about the whole process of medication. And I think that might be what's happening right now with me struggling with overwhelm. Not sure what's going on then, my voice went very croaky. I think that's what's happening with me at the moment with the overwhelm. And I'm trying to like take steps to protect myself, protect my energy, because it is difficult, and I'm not looking after myself particularly well. But we're trying to keep myself accountable, yapping to my friends and my safe people, and Charlie's one of those, poor Charlie, just to try and take care of myself. I'm not sure entirely why I'm oversharing and rambling at you, but I think sometimes it's good to give you like a little update. So it's not just me talking about films, I'm talking about me as a human as well, because I exist. And you are perceiving me by listening or watching, and sometimes I need to put a little bit more of me into this stuff, but I probably should put less of me into the world in general because I'm an oversharer, but that's fine, it's fine. But talking of oversharing, just a heads up at the start of the episode, we do talk about medical things like ADHD and autism diagnosis and the problems that often you can have as a woman with diagnosis and being taken seriously. So we do mention a little bit of like medical gaslighting and stuff. Unfortunately, that is a topic that's come up nearly every episode because so many of us, either through neurodivergence or the comorbidities that often come with neurodivergence, we don't always have the best experience with doctors and the medical field. So that does get brought up just to make you aware. I don't think it's anything too heavy, but it does get brought up and I want you to be aware of that before you listen. But I'm going to stop yapping at you now. Please enjoy me and Charley getting feral, getting weird, getting cringy about cryptids and cryptid horror movies. Hello, a real life cryptid. Hey, Charley, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, as we know, we've had an emotional morning, so there's a good chance I'm going to cry at some point during this podcast. But I'm so glad you are here. Thank you for letting me bully you on to the first of probably many recordings we're going to do. Do you want to introduce yourself to everybody?
Yeah, I'm Charley. I have an Instagram, Charley Horror, which I do dabble in sometimes, and I post some horror-related content, but I'm not as good at it as I probably should be.
You're great, shush.
You know, I feel like I'm one of those people that like, oh yeah, it'd be really nice if I could engage in lots of things, and then I just don't put the input in myself because
You're queen of horror threads, though. Come on.
Threads, I do tend to get some catches on there. Yeah.
Yeah, I forget it exists until I get a notification. I'm like, who's this random guy?
Yeah,
lurking.
I either piss people off on threads or I put just the oddest things that people seem to resonate with, and yeah, so that's always nice. But yeah, and yeah, so I know you mainly, I guess, through like socials and through my husband Ben on his podcast. You've been on there, and yeah, we've been just chatting a lot recently and doing nice
Very
things.
nice.
Yeah. So, and then yeah, you were like, have you got anything that you really love? Anything that you like?
Apart from me.
Apart from you, of course.
Yeah.
And I mean, like horror, obviously, but that's a very broad subject. So I thought let's pull it in a little bit more niche, and cryptids is something that I'm super interested in. So
I think it's worth mentioning, and I'll probably cry, but it's fine, that like the importance of neurodivergent friendships and how wonderful they are.
Oh, definitely.
And how Charlie's appeared and we've become very close very quickly, and I'm crying about it. Stop it. But it's just very lovely when you meet neurodivergent people and you just click.
Yeah.
And then you can be yourself with them. And
definitely.
Poor Charlie's listened to me cry a bunch already. And we've only known each other a couple of weeks. And we've only ever hung out once. But it's lovely. So
yeah,
just want to celebrate you and say thanks, Charlie.
No, thank
but
you.
Also the importance of neurodivergent friendships, because I think we often find each other and do that like stepbrothers thing of going, did we just become best friends?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and it's nice, isn't it?
I've spoken to you a little bit about it, and I think knowing a little bit more about what I know about myself now, because I'm only very recently diagnosed with ADHD, and on the kind of cusp, I guess, of getting a autism one as well. Yeah, I think it's made me realise that a lot of relationships and friendships and stuff I've had in the past or tried to have in the past and haven't been successful in, especially I think we talked about like friendships with other girls, especially I've always found them rather challenging, and there's always had to have been something that's formed that friendship. I find it quite hard to talk to other women, and I've always kind of thought that maybe they just don't like me. I think I said to you, I feel like other women don't particularly like me or don't want to spend time with me, but I think it's more me kind of noticing how differently wired I am, and maybe I'm the one sensing the difference as opposed to them or projecting it. But no, like you say, like talking to you especially has been like super easy and nice, and yeah, it just, like you say, it makes you feel a little bit less alone when there's somebody who can go like, oh, I feel like that, or I've had that happen to me. But yeah, it's just, yeah, it's been very nice, and it's been helpful. I think you've been very helpful, and kind of, you're somebody who's been like, it's okay if you're this, or it's okay if you're that, and been quite, like something that you've already dealt with and kind of still going through the processes with, but it's still very, very fresh, I think, for me. And I'm still a bit like, how to navigate life now, but I've navigated it this far, so I think I've been doing all right.
You're doing brilliantly. So yeah, just wanted to like shout that out, because I know I yap on here and social media and stuff all the time about being neurodivergent. That's sort of like how this podcast came about, but it's also how I've made new friends and like new people who are like an important part of my life. And I think it's helped deepen the friendships that I did already have, because I've been able to go, hey, this is me. And they go, oh, yeah, this is me. And realizing that actually the friends have stuck around more than a couple of years. They're all neurodivergent too. And we all sort of understand each other. And it's nice talking about my whole like diagnosis journey. I hate to say journey because it sounds so wanky, but like it's brought so many people sliding into my DMs to be like, hey, do you mind if I ask you about this? And I'm like, no, absolutely, crack on. And sometimes it's just like little chats about their diagnosis and stuff, but then sometimes I make new friends, which is lovely. So friends, podcast friends, car booting friends. Poor Charlie got dragged around a car boot sale with me whilst I got very excited about buying clowns and fucking all sorts.
Yeah.
All sorts of stupid shit.
Very sunburnt, so thank you.
Yeah, I wasn't well after that. Pasty goths shouldn't be allowed out in the sunshine.
No.
But the lure of dead people shit is just too good to resist, really.
Yeah. It's too
As
much
you can
to
tell by the room behind me, it's just full of shit. Dead people shit, new shit, creepy haunted doll pram shit. It's just fucking great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, so thank you for giving yourself a little introduction. Are you comfortable to talk a bit more about like your diagnosis and stuff? Because like we're the same age. It's nice to find a friend the same age as me, like literally 8 days apart, which is like really close, because most of my friends are either like 5-6 years older than me, or like Abby is 8 years younger than me, and she doesn't mean to, but she makes me feel like an ancient old crone when I talk about things, and she's like, no, I don't know what that is, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. So it's nice to have like a friend that is the same age. And obviously I'm a couple of years ahead of you with diagnosis, but it's wild being almost 40 and going, oh fuck, I'm a bit special.
Yeah.
Like, are you happy to talk a little bit more about that? Because I think it's
yeah.
helpful for people to hear other people's experiences.
I feel like I've been the last like 10 years or so, it's been like finding out weird medical things about me, because I only found out when I was 32 by accident that I've only got one kidney. So it's just weird things in life that you're just like, oh, suddenly you're being told, oh, you've got this, or you haven't got this in that case. And it's wild, isn't it? But
like, you just wouldn't know, would you? It's not like you like regularly go for like, I don't know, a CT scans or whatever. I've been watching the Pit. I should be better at medical stuff, but you wouldn't know that you only got one kidney until something goes wrong, and then you're like, oh shit.
And it was such a nonchalant comment from the person that was getting an ultrasound, and she went, oh, so you haven't got a white kidney. And I was like, I beg your pardon? She was like, did you not know that? I was like, does this look like the face of someone who's in the know? So yeah, odd.
That's nearly as wild as I know somebody who they didn't know until years later. They were having a scan for something like you, and the ultrasound person was like really confused. And I think, it was like a CT. And they had to go away and guess somebody, and obviously the people panicked. They were like, what the fuck's going on? And all their organs are the wrong way round in their body.
That's weird.
And so I think, because they thought the scans, I think anything they've had done with like health things before, they've got, oh, it's wrong, flip the image, it's obviously gone wrong, but actually their insides are all like the wrong way round. And it doesn't cause them any health problems, but it's just something
Yeah,
that like
that is
doctors
weird.
need to be aware of, and you'd never know.
No, no, it's
It's
weird. It's
bodies
like
are weird.
it is a weird thing to find out, and it made me wonder as well, like because obviously that's like maybe like a developmental kind of something went off quitter when it was being. That's what they reckon. Like that kidney just never came about. So I guess it kind of makes you wonder, like there's
So the
some bit.
Tylenol your mum took when she was pregnant.
Yeah, exactly.
Give you the tism and one kidney.
Yeah, I know. Thanks, Mum. But yeah, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Like when you find out things like that, and then obviously diagnoses and things, you kind of go, maybe are any of these things like linked? Is it all developmental, or is it? I mean, it's just interesting. But yeah, so to go back to the neurospicy stuff, so I've always kind of known. I think you do. It's like I feel like it's probably no different to like kids growing up knowing that their sexuality may be different to someone else's. Do you know what I mean? I think that you know if something is you feel different in one way or another. And yeah, just a lot of times at school and stuff like that was very apparent. I didn't do very well at school, or things I did do well in were more of like the creative kind of arty type things where I could be like doing rather than thinking. I've always found myself better if I've got things in front of me that are like problem solving as opposed to just thinking on my own feet. And yeah, just always kind of had weird times in my life where, yeah, as I say, it's hard to kind of describe, but it is just that knowing that you're. I don't think I've ever thought to myself that I'm different. I've always thought to myself that I'm not the same as everyone else. And I know they probably sound like they'd be the same thing, but in my head, it feels different.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I think I'm different. I just know that I'm not the same as everyone else. That's how I've always thought of it. My mum tried to get me kind of tested for ADHD and dyslexia when I was at school. They basically said no, Charley just needs to read more, and she needs to apply herself more, and she needs to learn how to concentrate and not spend her lessons distracting others, and just the typical kind of disruptive side of it. Whereas like if a boy had all of those things, they might have gone, oh, okay, well maybe we'll look into it. It might be like a proper attention thing, things, but no, because I was a girl and it was the 90s, it was just, no, she's just annoying, basically, is how it felt. Just like, nah, she's just annoying. So yeah, I think I've gone through life always feeling a little bit anxious and had low mood, been on and off antidepressants since I was a teenager. And in the last couple of years, for the last 5 years, I've had larger periods of time, like month or 3 month periods of time, where I've just almost got to a point where I've got nothing else to give. I've been at work and I've got nothing else to give. Like I almost feel like I'm hitting a wall and I don't know why. I'm like, I don't know why I feel like this. I just feel like I just want to sit in a dark room and I can't do anything else anymore. Like I just got to a point where I just felt like I completely shut down. And my husband would be like, oh, is there something that's bothering you? And I'm like, nope, nothing's bothering me. I don't feel a certain way about anything that I can think of. But I've run out. I've run out of everything. I've run out of patience. I've run out of energy. I've run out of anything, really. And the last time it happened was just before Christmas. And I said to my doctor, I was like, look, I need to know if there's other things going on here. I feel like I've been on antidepressants. I've been treating these symptoms for most of my life, but I've always been curious about ADHD and autism. ADHD, I'd been on a NHS waiting list for 4 years at that point already. And I think the last time I reached out to them, they said it's going to be in excess of another 5 years. Oh, well, I was like, wow, that's depressing. And it's horrible. It's just mad that it's so oversaturated in those areas. It's it's hard. It's really, really hard. And I think it's hard to advocate for yourself as well. And that's why I went to the doctor this time. I said, we need to do something. We need to do something soon, because I just don't know how much longer I can go through my life being okay until I'm not okay. And then when I'm not okay, not understanding why I'm not okay, and all those things that come with it. So she referred me to both assessments through Right to Choose, which was really good. And my ADHD one, it was between the date that she sent the referral in, I got the kind of questionnaire bits that I had to do and send to my sister, and my assessment and diagnosis and medication, it was 3 weeks. It was like a 3-week period
Which
of
is
time.
insane. You were
It just
so
went,
lucky.
and so lucky. I managed to find, I think it was a medical, like a, what was the word for it, for like the assessment people. I managed to find one that I think that had been newly added into Right to Choose. So they had basically just joined the program or whatever. So they had, a really, really quick turnaround, and they had no titration waiting period either. It was like if they assess you and diagnose you, you get medication on the spot. So it was all very, very quick, very, very lucky, and just mental to think that I'd already been on a wait list for 4 years and got told it could be another 5. So something that could have been a total of 9 years, and it happened in 3 weeks. And I think it was just, I mean, that in itself was overwhelming.
That's very quick, because like for me, after I had my diagnosis, I had to wait, I think, 11 months until I had my first titration appointment.
Yeah.
Which is fine, I get it. Like you said, the waiting lists are absolutely wild, and I know it works differently in England and Wales. We don't have Right to Choose, which sucks, but
yeah.
I mean, we didn't even have an adult ADHD assessment service. I was on a waiting list to be on a waiting list, which is wild.
Wow.
So like for me it was years, but yeah, like you said, that's very overwhelming. Even for me, just being stuck on a waiting list was overwhelming.
Yeah.
And when I had my first autism assessment, I think it was like 12 weeks maybe total, from like them contacting me to having the appointments and getting a diagnosis, which was quick. And that was overwhelming.
Yeah.
But like 3 weeks is wild.
3 weeks is wild. And it's obviously like really vindicating, because it was like just all it took was 3 weeks for them to say, say like, yes, you need this, take this now, please. So that was really good. Validating that my suspicions had always been kind of correct on that side of things. But yeah, just crazy, and I went for like a weird time as well. I said things to my husband like, oh, are you going to think of me any differently? Like, because you do, I think you worry, like it's all well and good thinking and deep down knowing something, but it's a different thing to have it on paper and a bit of writing that sort of says you have this. And it's, while it's also, as I say, it's good, but it also kind of makes you feel like, for me personally, I just felt like a bit like, oh, like I've never seen it as a weakness or anything like that at all, but I just like, it's the thing, like the perception of other people. I'm worried about the perception of other people thinking differently of me. Do you see what I mean? So
it's that internalized ableism as well sometimes, isn't it? Because like I'm constantly like, oh, you're not that bad, get a grip, or it's not that overwhelming, you're not that tired, it's not that difficult. And I'm like, stop like lessening how you feel, because it is difficult. And I know there's that fear of like unmasking, like you said, like will people think of me differently? And I know people think of me differently, and some people aren't my friends anymore, and that's fine. I have different relationships with people now, and that's absolutely fine. But like I said earlier, like the friendships that are people that understand me, they've got so much stronger and so much more important and intense in a good way.
Yeah.
And I think that's really helpful, and that's why I appreciate when people like talk to me on here about their own experience, because I feel like I'm going on about it all the fucking time. And I feel like, again, it's that internalized ableism thing of like, if I tell people how I feel, they're going to think I'm mental. If I try and explain to them what this thing feels like, or the overwhelm of this thing, or you know, like at the moment, I'm struggling to leave the house. It's really fucking hard to leave the house. It can take me 4 hours from my alarm going off to being able to get out of bed and leave the house. And I'm trying to like make changes and stuff. Obviously, you've been very patiently listening to me talking about all this shit, but like it's hard. And I feel like you said, the societal thing of like saying, oh, okay, well, I'm going to change doing this. Like, I'm very lucky that I get like financial support, that I don't have to work full time, because I would be an absolute mess. I would be driven to break down and burn out, and I would worry for, not to be like too dramatic, but I would worry for my safety. I'm very lucky that I don't have to work full time. So when I do say things like, I am exhausted, I am burned out, like I've got a really easy job. And I hate saying to people like, I'm really tired right now, I'm too tired for this, I'm too overwhelmed for this, when I know like everybody else is working 40 hours a week and there's me doing 16 hours a week. Sometimes less, because I'm tired and I'm like, get a fucking grip. And it's that internalized ableism again of being like, everyone else manages it, you should. And it's trying to like understand and try and get other people to understand in a way that doesn't sound like you're just trying to get attention, or you're just being like those vague Facebook posts of like, oh, some people are snakes, and then people are like, what's up, babe? And you're like, DM me, hun, you know, inbox me, hun. Like, it's trying to get people to understand. And for me, I always say that being ADHD feels like the autism side of my brain. It's that old like, inside you there are two wolves thing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But the autism side of my brain is making little neat piles of paper. It wants everything organized. It wants everything in its place, done a certain way. But then the ADHD side is just throwing those piles of paper up in the air. And that's how I try and like explain to people how it feels like inside my brain, that there's constantly trying to make all these neat, tidy piles for my life, for my emotions, for my work, for my everything. But then the other side is just going, ha, and just throwing shit up everywhere.
Like internal conflict all the time.
Yeah.
It's just conflict all the time. And no matter how much you might want to try and lean in more into one or the other, it's not that easy. That's not how it works, unfortunately. So it's just, like you say, and I think that's where the burnout is most noticeable, because no matter how much you want to try and do something, and you know you've got to do it, and you're like, just do it, get it out of the way, it's like silly things. Like I said to you yesterday, like my washing pile has got to a point now where I'm terrified of it. Like, it's got to a point, and I know I could have done that last week, I could have done it throughout the week. I kept looking at it thinking I need to do that, but it's almost like a mental block where I'm like, I can't do that. That's too much for me to deal with right now, so I'm going to deal with it a bit later, and then it piles up a bit more,
and then it becomes so overwhelming that you just pretend it doesn't exist
anymore. I might
just
put it all in bin bags and just throw it in the bin.
Honestly, like my entire house is this problem exactly of like going, right, I'm gonna start sorting and tidying, and I'll make a big pile, and then the big pile is overwhelming. So I'm like, right, I'm just gonna ignore that for a little bit. And like my spare room is just the room where I dump everything. I make doom bags in an attempt to like tidy and sort, and then all the doom bags have gone into what is now a doom room. Oh, hello, Dennis.
Oh, you did a little look up, yeah.
Oh, no, you've gone back to sleep. Good boy. There's a very cute dog for audio listeners in the background. His name is Dennis. He's lovely. We made friends the other week. I love him. Yeah, but like my whole house just overwhelms me, and like I hate having people here. Like my mum always says to me, like, oh, I wouldn't know, I'm not allowed in your house. And it's because I know my mum would come into my house and go, fucking hell. Because there are just like piles of stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
It is very much a depression pit. I go through phases, like my bedroom's pretty tidy right now. I've been spending time like getting loads of my collections up on the wall and trying to do different things. And like my bedroom now feels like a nice space to be in. But like my living room, fucking chaos. My kitchen, absolute fucking chaos. We pretend the spare room doesn't exist and we just shut the door. It
Outside
is,
out of mind.
yeah, it's like a TARDIS full of shit and we just shut the door and we don't know. Um, but yeah, it's just very overwhelming, and I do find it hard trying to like convey to people how that feels. Like, have you got a way to like neatly convey it, like my paper pile thing for people? It doesn't matter if you don't. Just I do
I
get
don't know.
neurotypical people listening, and I think it's useful for them to
Of course,
sort of
yeah.
understand. It doesn't
I
matter if
think
you don't.
I think the way I've tried to describe it to like my dad, for example, because my dad is just his life. I mean, he's got health issues, he's got epilepsy and stuff, so he kind of knows what it's like to have something that you can't really 100% explain to somebody else how it affects you and how it makes you feel. But then he is also very like black and white, and like he only really any knowledge he knows is just knowledge that he gets from like the news or sees what he believes on social media. So like he doesn't investigate. He's not somebody who spends the time to research or investigate things. So unless you take the time to actually sit with him and explain things to him, like he just won't know about these things. And I think I said to him the way that I would describe my brain and how it functions day to day is I feel like I'm sat in a room, say like a cafe or something. I'm sat trying to talk to somebody and I'm having a conversation with them. But at the same time, whatever the song is on over the radio, I'm singing along to whatever that is at the same time. I'm trying to focus on what this person's telling me, but I'm singing along to the music. But then I'm also listening in on maybe 2 or 3 different people's conversations at the same time. And then I've noticed a repetitive noise, maybe like a door slamming every time someone walks through it. So then my brain's focusing on that because I'm trying to like, I know that bang's going to come again soon. So I'm listening for that bang as well. And it's just adding all of those things together. It's just very, very hard. And I've always found it very, very hard to be able to just be a one-track person in like really hone in on something. And I know that's been annoying for so many people in my past where they're like, you're not listening. And I'm like, no, I am. And I am. I'm trying, at least. I am giving you my attention. But there's a million other things going on in this room right now. And I just can't function with it all. And I think it's, yeah, so that's my way of always kind of saying about it is like, imagine saying to people like, well, imagine like now we're sat in a pub, but I'm talking to you, but you can't just hear me, you can hear like 20 other sounds, and you're almost trying to like split your attention between them, even though you know those ones aren't important, they're there and you can't ignore them. So I think that's kind of my analogy, I guess, of probably more so the ADHD side of things. But as you know, like I keep saying if I have autism
You've been
because I
peer
haven't got
reviewed, you do.
it. I've had the assessments, I've had the conversations about things that I've said and done and whatever, and what my sister told them about me when I was younger. So I'm not, yeah, I just don't have it on paper yet. So I'm not, that's what I'm like though. I'm the sort of person that like, unless I've got it on paper, I'm not gonna, because, again, I think unfortunately there's a lot of narrative on social media and a lot of things where it's like older people over 50 are like, oh, everyone says they've got that now. Everyone says they've got ADHD. Everyone says they've got autism now. And it's like a lot of memes, you know, where it's like, oh, you know, you've got this one, this. And it's just, it's kind of, that's invalidating, I guess, in a way, because it's almost taking away. I don't think it's making light or making fun of it, but I think it's where people have tried to make it an everyday conversation and that validating that those things exist. You do get like some people that obviously just try and use it as, oh, look at me, I'm so silly, I've got this, and then they post about it and they get loads and loads of likes, and you know, it's a hard thing to navigate, because you, again, that's how I feel a little bit. Like if I say to people, oh, well, turns out I have this and this, I'm just like waiting for the eye rolls, you know, like, oh right, yeah. So it's just, It's a weird world out there, I think. But I am what I am. I've got what I've got. So what is
Yeah,
really
well,
how the only way you can think about it, really.
thank you for like sharing a bit about that, because I think it's really helpful. And like I said to you, like, I mean, you're one of those people who've come to me and been like, "Hey, I've got my assessment. What's going on? What is this?" And I'm still having people messaging me about like the assessment process and stuff, and it's really nice. And I think it's just so helpful to share stuff.
Yeah.
So thank you. And I was like trying to wrap that bit up, but then I was like, oh no, I'll ask you about meds. Like I know I've shared a lot about my experience with meds. You've
Mhm.
had a pretty positive experience too. You're on methylphenidate as well.
Yes, yes. I'm glad you said it because I can't say it. I just
Yeah,
say the
I'm
meth
always just saying
one.
meth.
Yeah, I take the meth one.
And people go, "What?" And you're like, it's not actual meth. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah. I can't
yeah.
remember what my point was.
I've had quite a shockingly simple um journey with that as well. Obviously starting on a small dose, doubling it, and then doubling it again. Um, I've gone. I wouldn't say I've gone over what they usually dose, but I got to a point where I was on what they would have normally considered the maximum dose for the type and like the slow release type and everything. But I said I felt good for most of the day, but then I felt as if I was like almost like tapering off and getting to almost a point where I crashed around 2, 3 o'clock. And I was like, obviously I work till 5. So is there anything we can do to give me like a little bit of booster? So she added a little bit extra on. So I think I'm on 54 plus 18, 17. No,
Maths.
maths. Whatever
Neither of
that
us
is.
got the maths
Whatever
autism, did
74
we?
plus 18 is. I'm on
Yeah,
that.
we didn't get the maths autism. We got
No,
the
unfortunately not. No, I
weird,
didn't.
weird
Um,
special interest autism.
so yeah, so that's all been good. Um, yeah, I've had no kind of qualms. I did get a bit, because obviously like I go down a bit of a rabbit hole when it comes to things like that as well. Like obviously I spoke to you about medication and stuff, and like, but sometimes you just kind of like put the feelers out, don't you, on something like Reddit, because you're like, I wonder what the general consensus is for something like this. And then a lot of people going, oh, they won't do over 54. They'll try and put you on a different medication. But I was quite adamant with my clinician, and I just said like I've had 0 side effects. Like I think I had a bit headachy for a week or two and a bit dry mouth for a week or two.
Oh, awful, really bad.
Yeah. But once those things passed, I had no other issues whatsoever. And obviously they do things like they have to check like your pulse rate and your blood pressure and your weight and that sort of thing. And all of those things hadn't changed. They weren't getting like higher, lower, anything. Which is obviously why she said, okay, well we can try you on a bit more, because obviously if I had turned up that day with much higher readings on anything, then she probably would have been like, no. But can't remember what I was getting to with that. Yeah, so I just sort of said like I don't want to go on a different medication. I don't want to try something else, because I don't want to have to start from scratch again on something and then that have side effects, only for me to then have to come off of that slowly and go back onto this one. So I said like if there was just a way that we could like top it up somewhat, that would be more beneficial, and she did. So yay. And I've been signed off now with the dosage that I'm on. The shared care letter's gone back to my GP finally, only because I just realised they hadn't sent it. But yeah, so hopefully, like my GP already said that when it came to that she would take over the shared care. So I'm hoping that she's remembered that she said that. And if not, I'll be like, but you said. Probably cry on the phone to her until she takes me back.
Oh, we love crying to the doctors on the phone. I've been doing that a lot too.
And then, yeah, so hopefully, yeah, 12 monthly review now is all I've got booked in for that. Obviously, they said if anything changes or anything like that, that just to contact them or go through my GP and they'll contact them, and kind of, they said like, we'll be able to see you immediately. Like if you call us up and you want to speak to somebody, we'll try and get you in like the next day or something. And she also did say for any reason, if your doctor does change her mind and no longer wants to do shared care, they've got a thing in place where they've got clinicians who will happily still prescribe for NHS cost rather than having to go fully private as well. So it's nice that they've got that as a fallback for people as well. So I feel like I've been really, really lucky with finding my provider that I found with Right to Choose, because they've been nothing but amazing. Like, just, yeah, they've been really, really, really good.
It's nice to hear like positive stories. Like mine wasn't entirely negative. Like starting on Elvance didn't work for me. Went through the whole like up to the top dose, and then it was like, right, okay, then that doesn't work. Let's try something else. So like that was a lot to deal with. But I know I've been lucky as well, and I know lots of people aren't as lucky as we've been with the whole titration process. It was nice. I think it's nice for people to hear that like sometimes it does work out nicely, because that's what I expected for me, and it wasn't as like smooth sailing as I thought it was going to be.
And I was the opposite, because I'd already been waiting so long and got told I was going to wait again, even with Right to Choose. I was like, is this going to be a case of I'm going to be like sat around twiddling my thumbs waiting and waiting again? So there definitely is, like, say, positives as well as negatives. And yeah, the only thing I would say to people that are kind of like, if they've been waiting for such a long time and they're in England and they can do Right to Choose, just like, I think like when it comes to stuff like this, you do just have to kind of bite a bullet and advocate for yourself and go to the doctor, do the research. Like, it's all on the Right to Choose website. You can type in your postcode. It will tell you all of the providers that do your area, your trust, or wherever you are. And then just write down all of those bits, go to the doctor and go, I want to do Right to Choose. I think there's even something in place if the doctor says no, I still think there's a way you can potentially self-refer, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
So there are loads and loads of options, but if you are like I was, just sat and probably annoying them, because I think every 6 months or so I'd email them and be like, just wanted to double check that I was still...
I'm on the list. Yeah, that was me. Am I
And
still
then
on the list?
they'd go, yep, we've had your referral. It hasn't gone through. It hasn't been, what's it called when they like triage? Yeah, they haven't even triaged it yet. I was like, oh, good. So, but yeah, it's that thing of where you start to feel like, oh, have I been forgotten about? Better check in. But yeah, there are definitely options. But yeah, Right to Choose. There's a couple of women that I work with, and they think that their teenagers or like young adult children potentially have ADHD, and I've just given them the information and go, just get them to go on here and have a look. But like, it's obviously frustrating that we live at a time where if you feel you've got something wrong with you, especially women, like women's health issues as well, like unless you bother people and advocate for yourself, people just tend to not really do much. Pop you on antidepressants and tell you to do some yoga and
Lose some weight, go for a
lose some weight.
walk,
Yeah,
eat a banana.
yeah, all of those sort of things. Because yeah, again, let's say like women's health is already a bigger shit show, I think, than men's health. I think I know plenty of women who have got things like endometriosis and stuff like that, and they've asked time and time again to have a hysterectomy, and they're like told, oh no, you can't, because what if you want to have kids? What if you change your mind?
It's like I'm riddled with endo. I'm probably not having kids anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And then, like, for example, my husband, he got a vasectomy, and he basically asked for he asked for a vasectomy, and he got one in like 2 months. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, that is just like, oh yeah, whatever you want. But women, it's like, I still think that we are constantly put on the sidelines because we're being dramatic, or because we're being over the top, or because of those sort of things. And it's just like, no, we need to start advocating for ourselves, and we need to start ensuring that our female relatives and our friends and people that we care and love about around us, that we're trying to help them and push them to do that for themselves as well, because some people just don't. And I think they need strong women behind them to kind of go, you need to tell them. Don't go to the doctors and ask for something. You go to the doctors and you tell them that you want something. And yes, I think that's how anyway we're going to make a positive shift in that, is just by supporting each other and advocating for one another.
Yeah, the amount of people I know with endo who've ended up going surgery, and then when the surgeons are in there, they go fucking hell when they see like the extent of the endo, and then there's that like grieving thing, almost like when we've had diagnosis and stuff, of going, I fucking told you. I fucking told you it was terrible and you didn't listen to me for years, and now look what the surgeon said, my insides are fucked. Like the amount of women I've known who've had that experience is shocking. And like you said, women's health is like not notoriously, that's another word I was looking for, is something horrendously, maybe they'll do, horrendously like underfunded, and you know, it's like at the point of being like, which is worse now, the way mental health is funded and treated, or is it women's health? And if you're a woman with mental health issues,
that's what I was going to say. It's like,
God help you.
Yeah, how many of those women now have mental health reasons because they haven't been listened to about something else that they've been going on about for years, and it's made them then have mental health issues because they can't cope with being gaslit by everyone. So, yeah, it fucking sucks. Fucking sucks being a woman.
Fucking suck. Well, let's talk about fun things instead.
Yeah.
What I know we did mention briefly at the beginning, but what is your exciting thing you want to talk? What's your hyperfixation? What do you want to talk about on horror hyperfixations?
I would like to talk about cryptids. And
excellent.
Yeah, cryptids in the media, cryptids in the world, cryptids, just anything to do with little odd guys that might be out there. Little odd guys out there.
Yeah. So, I mean, your special interest has got pretty deep on this, hasn't it?
Yeah. I'm currently doing a diploma currently in cryptozoology, and I've also got an advanced one already lined up. They're paid for. I just need to get through them. But it's one of those weird things because it's a pseudoscience, so it's basically like a chiropractor. Like it's you do things and you seem like you're sciencey, but actually you're just a person with a diploma who have a big interest in things and whatnot. But I believe that when you've got a couple of certificates under your belt, I can officially call myself a cryptozoologist, which is pretty cool.
That is very cool. I mean, I think you can call yourself an amateur cryptozoologist at the moment.
100%.
We should put some kind of like on the bottom of the screen on the video. Charley Errington, amateur cryptozoologist. That's a mouthful, isn't it? That's difficult.
That is cool. Yeah.
Where did the cryptid stuff start? Like, I've always been interested in like anything weird and things since I was really little.
Yeah, same. Always been drawn to oddities and weird things. Growing up, my mum was very alternative, I guess, in the sense of she has always considered herself kind of pagan / Wiccan.
Cool.
And like practiced with stuff like that. She's also a little bit clairvoyanty, so I've grown up with like loads of weird stories of things that she told me. That she's had happen to her or experienced throughout her life, and so like kind of all things to do with like ghosts and all that sort of stuff has always been a big interest as well. I've had a couple of my own weird little experiences with stuff like that as well, but and yeah, just watching, like my mum would always watch stuff on like the History Channel, stuff to do with like ancient aliens and things like that. So
I'm just thinking of that guy from the meme. That's all I know about that show. It's like,
So yeah, ancient aliens. Grew up watching what was it called? The one that had Riker from Star Trek that hosted it.
Unsolved Mysteries.
It might have been Unsolved Mysteries. Yeah, might have been that one. So anything to do with like those sort of programs, I grew up watching.
Yeah.
And then yeah, as my mum used to let me watch X-Files, which I probably shouldn't have, like when I was as young as I was. Like Tombs to this day is probably one of the most terrifying.
Fuck that guy.
No, not a fan. But yeah, so I've just always been interested in weird things like aliens as well and stuff like that. And I think cryptids is just something a little bit broader. And I think there's a lot of people that are doing ghost stuff, and a lot of people doing alien stuff. So cryptids is, especially in the UK, I think cryptid stuff and cryptozoology is a lot bigger, like in the States and in places like India. They've got a lot of like mad stuff over in those kind of Asian countries. But I think in the UK, it's a little bit more folklore-y based.
I was going to say, it feels very like embedded in folklore rather than
Yeah.
these creatures exist. It's
Yeah.
more like, oh, this the fairy tales you tell
Exactly.
and get passed on through generations and
Yeah.
stuff.
But that's what I'm excited about. Like I've spoken to you briefly about it, but I want to do a real deep dive on like UK folklore and try and work out whether is it just folklore, like is it bedtime stories to scare your kids, or is it actual things that people have seen or experienced, but it's been passed down and it's now almost just stories and fairy tales, as you say. So that's kind of what I want to eventually get around to doing, is doing some kind of research on those type of things, because every kind of county has probably got something, or someone's got a story of like, oh yeah, my nan said that she saw this thing once. But again, it's just like we're less dramatic, I think, than people in America. And I
Oh,
think like,
absolutely.
do you know what I mean? So I think that they make a much bigger deal of things when they see or hear about things. Whereas over here, we're very like, I can't tell people that, they'll think I'm nuts. Whereas I'm like, I want to speak to those people. I want to speak to these people who think they're nuts and they haven't told other people the things that have happened. I want to like find them people and talk to them and find out what they've experienced, what they've seen, what they've done, and then I want to go looking for them.
I'm I don't know what I am when it comes to like spiritual stuff, like ghosts and cryptids and stuff. What's the equivalent for all those things of like an agnostic? Like I'm not a skeptic,
Mm-hmm.
but I live in a space where I don't know if I believe in ghosts and cryptids, but I am fascinated by them and I am terrified that they are real. Same as aliens. Like
Mm-hmm.
I know there must be other life out there, but I try not to think about it because the thought of there being aliens fucking scares me. The thought of ghosts fucking scares me. Like I've heard plenty of stories from people and I'm like, that's a fucking ghost. That's a fucking ghost. But it scares me. And for somebody who watches so much horror and like I'm looking right now at the room out in the words looking out there at stuff and there's like little ghosties on the wall and they're like little cute chic ghosties, like we love
Yeah.
those, they're great.
Oh yeah.
But the thought of an actual ghost, like ghost watch pipes, like
Yeah.
pipes rocking
Bloody
up,
pipes. Yeah.
fucking terrifies me. So I sit in like a weird thing of like, yes, I'd love cryptids to be real, but I've never seen proof. Are they really real? It's fun to learn about them.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, would I find it quite scary at the prospect of like this whole world? Like I'm scared of, in a healthy way, I'm scared of like the deep ocean.
Oh no,
Um
I'm more scared of the deep ocean than anything else, I think.
and
The
I'm
deep
scared in a good
ocean,
way, just because
yeah,
I'm like, there's so much there, we don't know what's in there.
yeah,
Um you know, it could be anything, but in a cool way. Like I want to learn more about these like little ocean guys. Like
yeah,
we've got the creatures that are like at reachable like points, like anglerfish
mm,
and fucking vampire squid. Vampire squid is
yeah,
so cool. But like what else is down there? Is there like a
yeah,
whole world of fucking krakens and shit?
yeah,
That's quite
exactly.
scary. It's the unknown, isn't it? I think, and I think that's where I sit, is the
Yeah,
fear of the unknown and the unconfirmable. I don't know if
yeah.
that makes sense,
And
but
yeah, no, definitely.
I find it all
I don't know,
fascinating.
I kind of think like that is what I would consider kind of maybe a skeptic, because I think like you've got people that either really believe in things, people who categorically don't believe in it, and then you've got people in the middle that are a bit like you want to believe, but
I
then you've
do
heard
want to
stuff that
believe. I do want
you,
to.
and you hear things from people where you go, that's nuts. But I think seeing is believing is like a big part of it for a lot of people.
Hmm.
Like you just mentioned, like I've not seen any proof, I've not seen any of these things, but like that's how so many creatures that we see daily now, not like with our own eyes, but like we know they exist, that they were once considered like not real. So like silverback gorillas, I think it wasn't until like 1901 or something where no one knew about silverback gorillas, and people would come down out of the mountains and go, there's these massive apes up there, and people would be like, all right. Like, you know, because nobody had physically seen one and
Hmm.
couldn't take them, photos and stuff of them. It wasn't until somebody killed one and managed to bring it back to civilization and went, look at this massive ape, that you were able to go, oh shit, they exist. And that in itself is really sad as well, because it's almost like until something has to die in order for us to believe it.
Yeah.
And like that is mad. And I mean, that covers quite a lot of things that still currently we do in this world anyway, and how we treat some people. Do you know what I mean? But it's mad to think that, I think Komodo dragons was another one. People didn't believe that they were real because no one had been able to take a photo of one or had a body of one. People would just say, oh, I've seen this massive lizard, and people would just go, shut up.
Okay, an aside, because I fucking love him. Are you familiar with Komodo Dragon Boy from Recess Therapy?
I don't think so. Oh no, I am. No, I am. Yeah,
I can't remember his name. I can't remember his name. But I love him. And he's like, what would you say if you could talk to a Komodo dragon? And he goes, I would say thank you. So saying thank you to people is one of my favorite things to do, and I love watching that little boy talking about getting to meet a Komodo dragon and how they would eat people, and I'm like, I love you. You are the best fucking kid ever.
Yeah, he is cool. I do know.
He's very cool.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite cryptid? I know that is a massive question.
It's a really boring one, but I really do think like Sasquatch, like Bigfoot. I think they're just. I grew up in. Did you ever watch Harry and the Hendersons?
Yes.
Yes. It was like the movie, but there was a TV show as well, right? I haven't made that up, right? So there was a TV show, and I was like obsessed with that. But
John Lithgow.
I almost viewed it as a documentary, I think, as a kid. I never really thought like, oh, this is mental. It's like a made up thing that lives in the woods. I genuinely thought I could go into the woods in America and I'd find one. I was like, that's just what lives out there. I love it. And to this day, like, I remember as a teenager in my early 20s, I used to watch the show Finding Bigfoot all the time. The one where there's like just people that go out into the woods, like banging trees and like playing like war sirens, like the one that goes.
I hate that noise. It freaks me out.
Like the Silent Hill one.
Yeah.
To try and get them to come out, but that was really interesting because they would speak to people who had sightings and seen things, and talk to them. And like I say, because they're Americans, they're just like, I don't care if you don't believe me. I've seen it. They don't care about looking a bit aloof and a bit mad. But there's loads of sightings similar to that in China and in Indonesia. They've got a similar kind of big hairy man ape over there. And obviously you've got like yetis in like the colder places and stuff like that. So they seem to be a worldwide phenomenon. So like, why would they not exist? There's got to be something going on there. And I like the theory that they just hide from us because they don't want us to know that they're there. I find that endearing. I'm just like, oh, they're just out there doing their thing, and then something like, shit, there's someone, and they like run away really discreetly. And just like,
I mean, I'd love to run away to the woods and like be like a mythical creature. Like, I always hope that one day like kids will start walking past my house and be like, that's where the witch lives.
I told people that I worked with in my last job, that's my dream in life, is almost to be known as the scary house. Don't go in, like in what film is it?
Oh, so many films.
Oh, there's a film there where they're like, oh, Big Fish. In Big Fish, when they're like, oh, about the witch, and then they try and break into our house, and they're like, oh, you can't go in there, and she's got like the weird eye or something. I'm just like, yeah, that's what I want. I want people to avoid my house like the plague because they think I'm a witch.
I mean, I've painted like the windowsills black, and I've painted the door black, and the like outside of the windows, like the PVC, bought PVC paint because it's cheaper than replacing the windows. So like the house is black, so I'm hoping that like that's enough to like start. I don't know whether kids have little rumors and stuff anymore like we used to, because they got the internet now, they just Google everything. But that I'd love to be like a local legend.
Maybe one time I'll come over and I'll get you to dress a bit weird and like film you like lurking around.
I mean, that's just what I do anyway. I just lurk around, dress weird, and then film myself. That's my social media presence.
Post it and be like, oh, what's this weird lady? Where does she come from? And then people go, oh, I think I've seen her. She lives over that way. Oh, she lives in that black house. And then it will start. That's how we start it.
Yeah, we'll do it. I've got plenty of like floaty dresses and stuff. I look like I'm dead most of the time anyway. We can do it. I can be and I'm always crying. I could be like some kind of wailing banshee creature. Yes.
Yes. Perfect.
I love that. Well, I definitely love, as you know, Mothman. I even have put my little stimmy things down. I've got my little collection of Mothmans.
My little guy as well.
Where's my other one gone? Oh, he's on the floor. He fell down.
I've got the medium-sized one as well, but he's
Daddy
upstairs.
Mothman, other Mothman, and then Baby Mothman. Baby Mothman is just the best. He sits on the sofa with me and like hangs out. I love him, and he's got a T-shirt that says "Live, Lurk, Love," which I just think is just lovely. But yeah, I've oh, go on.
I was gonna say, have you seen the in Pleasantville in America where the Mothman legend comes from? Like the really like buff,
and people
statue
put dollars in his ass cheeks. We need to go.
I just love it. I love that they just let some thirsty sculptress make it.
It's like the I can't remember where it is, but there's somewhere where they made a statue of Lucifer and it was deemed too sexy, so they were like, let's make another one, and then the guy made it even more sexy than the other one. Honestly, it is beautiful. It's like a whole like fallen angel thing, and he's super beautiful. And it's like one of those things of like, you had no right to make it that hot. And
what are you doing? You knew what
his little muscly butt cheeks with people putting dollars in. I'm just like, good for you, Pleasantville. Not Pleasantville, that's somewhere else, isn't it? It's Point Pleasant.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I've just become obsessed with him. I think probably like what kicked it off. I don't listen anymore. They give me the ick now, but I used to love My Favorite Murder. And people used to like write in with stories of like true crime and just like weird shit. And there was one on there once about Mothman, and they were talking about how like Mothman goes like shopping with his basket and he's just like awkward and weird, and somebody animated it into this I'll have to find it and send it to you, but it's like they animated it into this weird little thing, and it's like Mothman and he's shopping and he's got a basket looking awkward and he goes and I don't know what about that just like crawled into my brain of just thinking of like Mothman being like this just cute little guy. And I'm obsessed with cute little guys. Like in horror films, like the baddies are often cute little guys. I feel sorry for them. I have some kind of like autistic empathy for them, I think. They've been like, oh, he's just a little guy, and to me Mothman is just a little guy.
I think I agree.
So he's like, there are iterations of Mothman where he's buff and he's fit, and hello Mothman. But I just think he's a little guy. Like, I love all the little like memes and gifs and things people make of like little Mothman, and he's just got these little red eyes and he's just so cute. And I know he's not cute. He supposedly does naughty things, but like he's just a little guy. He's allowed to do what he wants. And I don't know why I'm so obsessed with him.
And he's Mothman, and it's like he is just on his own, right? Because like all the others have got like potentially got families and things. Do you know what I mean? But Mothman, we're not like it's a Mothman. It is Mothman. So he's just alone in the world, just doing his thing. Like let him cook.
Alone in the world, a little Mothman. Like, where did he come from?
I know.
Has he got Moth Mummy and Moth Daddy?
Exactly. Or is he like here, like Superman, just like got put here on his own, and he's just got to try and blend in, but he knows he can't because he's half
a
moth.
buff moth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like these iterations where he's just like a little like chubby cute guy, but like the buff Mothman theory I do enjoy, and like quite often on this podcast we've discussed with my lovely friend Lou monster fucking, so I feel like it has to come on to that subject of I
think Mothman does come up in quite a lot of like hear me outs. Like I think a lot of hear me outs are like Mothman.
So if we were going to talk about cryptids in that depraved way for a little bit, who would be on your cryptid like fuck list, I guess? Like I think Mothman would get it.
I think Mothman, because he's probably one of the only humanoid ones, I guess, apart from like Sasquatch and stuff. The others are
Yeah, you're
all
going
kind
into
of
like bestiality territory then, aren't
yeah, yeah,
you?
yeah. So I feel like yeah, it'd have to be some of the ones that have human-like qualities. So I feel like Mothman is the obvious answer. Maybe that's why it is. It's just because he's a little bit different because he's got a bit of moth in him, but we can still say that it would be okay because he's also manly,
Do you reckon when you
man-shaped.
touch him, he goes all dusty?
Ooh, maybe.
Like all the little scales on a moth's wings, and they
Yeah.
go all like, ooh. Or do you reckon he's like firm and delicious? I reckon he's firm and delicious.
He's probably firm. The wings are probably
Dusty.
I feel like they're quite dainty. Like you'd have to be
Hmm.
quite careful because also if you knock too much of the dust off moths, they can't fly, can't they?
Yeah, because there's all the little scales on the
Yeah,
wings.
yeah. So you'd have to be very, very careful.
Treat him,
Yeah,
treat him gently whilst
yeah.
we'll stop this. What about Bigfoot? Do you think Bigfoot would Bigfoot get it? I reckon he'd smell too bad.
I was going to say no. I think he would smell awful, awful, awful. Do you reckon Mothman smells like mothballs?
No,
No.
I reckon Mothman smells like a really nice cologne. I don't know why. I don't know where he gets it from, but I just reckon Mothman would smell good.
Mothman smells good. He's got his own. He's got his own scent.
Yeah, like
It's his
kind of
own.
like piney, like the fresh smell of like a waterfall. Look at me romanticizing Mothman. That's what I reckon he would smell like
Yeah.
a waterfall in a forest where it's
Okay.
just rained, like that petrichor smell,
Nice.
pine, fresh
Yeah.
waterfall with like a musky oud base to it. That's what I reckon.
Nice.
Now I need to make that a perfume and call it Mothman. And
Odor Mothman.
we could make a whole range of scents based on cryptids.
No one would buy the Bigfoot one.
It smells like Bigfoot's dick. Oh, there's an Anchorman quote for everything.
It really is.
It really is.
But yeah, I feel like all the others, like I say, they're definitely not humany enough.
What about the Jersey Devil?
It's very cool, but definitely wouldn't attempt anything else.
Especially if it looked like the the drawings Mulder did in the X-Files episode, The Jersey Devil. That fucking thing. Did I send you? I saw a shirt the other day. I know I sent it to my sister, but it had the drawings that Mulder did of the Jersey Devil like embroidered onto it. I think it was like a plaid shirt, and it had on the pocket. I have to see if I can find it. The drawing of the Jersey Devil, and then something on the back. Maybe the drawing again. It was exquisite.
Very niche as well, but
Very, very niche. It's one of
wonderful.
those things that if you see in the wild, you'd be like, you are the fucking coolest person ever.
Yeah.
But it was wonderful. Yeah, what do you want to tell me things about cryptids, Charlie? I want to listen to you be excited about cryptids. I've got a list of films and things because that's where like most of my experience and knowledge comes from, but like I want to learn from you. Tell me things, please.
One of my favourite ones is the Native American one. Is something I don't know, you might have heard of it. There's got to be a film about it as well. I'm going to look it up in a minute. There's one that's called a Snallygaster.
Ooh, I
like,
don't know her.
it's like a dragon-like creature, and it was like spotted quite a lot in the 1800s, and Teddy Roosevelt was obsessed with it apparently, and he would like actively try and get hunts together because he was absolutely adamant that he was going to capture the Snallygaster and prove everybody that it existed, which I quite like because obviously he's like the president. The president's mad as well at this point, and it's just like the president's like, oh, he's just gone on a hunt. Oh, what's he gone to hunt? Oh, just deer and normal things. But he's
And
out there looking
Snallygaster.
for a winged dragon-like beast.
I need to interrupt a second because I've been playing with this stim thing and I'm just so excited of like what I've just discovered I can do. I can make diamonds and stuff with it. That's very exciting. Audio listeners, I audio listeners, yeah, you're a listener if you're audio.
Yeah.
I'm playing with Stimags magnet things because I'm very overstimulated today, and I just made a square. It's very exciting. Yeah, I don't know that one.
Yeah.
I
So
think,
that's a
like you
good
said,
one.
a lot of the ones are in America, and I think a lot of them are in
Yeah.
Appalachia. Um,
I really want. I sent a thing to you the other day saying I want to do the Appalachian Trail, and you were like,
not fucking going. Nah, there's too many weird fucking things there, and I absolutely
"Feel like
like. As
I'm
much as
missing."
I'm a skeptic, I wouldn't risk going there because I'm like, absolutely fuck that.
I think I'd be more scared of kind of like a wrong turn situation as opposed to cryptids. I'd be worried that there are like scary bushmen, like,
Fair.
you know.
I'm
I was
scared of like the stories I've heard again, like on things like My Favorite Murder, of like mimics and skinwalkers, like that. That's the sort of
skinwalkers. I'm
stuff that
fascinated by
scare me.
skinwalkers. Fascinated by skinwalkers. I find them so interesting. Like I'd like to go to a reserve and like do some ayahuasca or something and just like chill out in like the desert with some natives and see if I can see anything.
See, I would like to do an ayahuasca thing. And I'm also very interested in like ketamine and psilocybin therapy,
Mm,
where I know they've done that a lot of with people with like CPTSD and stuff, where you
yeah,
have like microdoses and you like talk through stuff.
yeah.
Ayahuasca seems much scarier, but also is something I'm open to in a
Mm,
therapeutic situation. I would not be open to it in a take it and see if I can see some fucking cryptids. Like, I think I'd freak the fuck out. Do you think
yeah, that's
that's when
fair.
you'd get to see a Wendigo? Do you reckon you'd encounter a Wendigo whilst under
Potentially, but then
ayahuasca?
it would be that thing though, that because I know they exist, I know kind of what they look like in different like um instances. Like, would I just make myself see what I want to see?
Yeah.
Whereas, do you know what I mean? So it's like I feel like anything like that is a bit hit and miss because yeah, I'd want to see something, but then I'd also be disappointed afterwards if it wasn't real.
Mm. I think
So,
I'd just be too scared. Same as I've never done any drugs because I'm scared. My
mm,
brain scares me on a daily basis. I don't want like I don't even drink anymore because like being drunk, I know a lot of people who are neurodivergent have had like substance abuse issues and like use drink and drugs to make themselves more normal, I guess, with
yeah,
other people.
yeah,
Because like we know we're both on stimulant medication.
hmm,
That's a way of like leveling yourself out.
yeah,
But yeah, anything like the idea of doing like mushrooms or LSD or anything fucking
mhm,
terrifies me. Like,
yeah,
how do you know if that stuff is real or not? Is it that you've and we've seen this in horror films and stuff? Is it that your perception of the world has broadened so you are now more susceptible and you can see these things, whether
yeah,
that's ghosts or monsters or cryptids, or is it that we've imagined it? Is it that it's always been there? Like the what if and potential there is what
yeah.
scares me.
No, definitely. I've done mushrooms. I've not done acid of any type because I think that scares me a lot more. I've done mushrooms, but only I've always been someone who like will dabble in something, but I don't go too far because I don't like the idea of fully not being in control. And it's like, and it's only just been like just cash with like a friend or something like that. Whereas like if I was to do ayahuasca, I'd like to do it with people that like do it a lot
Mm-hmm.
and do it for spiritual reasons, so that I can try and like tap into that a little bit,
Yeah.
which I feel is a little bit different and it's a bit more of a controlled
Yeah,
scenario rather than just
it's not
people
about
chilling in the
getting
field.
smashed
Yeah,
and just having a laugh. It's about like an
yeah,
actual experience. No, I'd absolutely be open to doing something like that. There we go. That's another trip for us. We'll go and do some ayahuasca in the desert and
in the
see
desert.
what happens. And
Yeah,
if anything appears, you can protect me. Because like I won't do ghost hunts and stuff either. Like people are always trying to get me to go on like ghost tours and ghost walks
mhm,
and stuff, and I'm like, no, fuck off.
no,
Like absolutely the fuck
I
not.
I don't. do them anymore, but that's because there was one occasion where something happened and it freaked me out to my core, to the point where I was like, no, I'm closing off any kind of door I might have open to any of those things,
Mhm.
because I was just like, no, I I don't know. And it was when I was younger as well. And my mum had always said, like, if you let it, you'll be able to be like me, and you'll be able to like see and experience things and kind of do that. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I did it a few times, and then just this one experience made me kind of go, that's not for me. And I just kind of like have become, I still believe in those things and I believe that they exist, but I personally don't want to experience them. So I close off that kind of part of my brain, I think, hopefully.
Do you think that's linked to being neurodivergent because you see the world in a different way to everybody else? I know
Maybe.
that's quite a deep question to just throw at you,
Yeah,
but that makes
maybe.
sense to me
Yeah.
that you are, because I know every neurodivergent person's different, but I think we are quite similar in that you are very perceptive
Hmm.
for vibes and people. Like, I'm very good at seeing people for who they are rather than who they want the world to think they are.
Yeah.
Um, I'm very good at reading people and situations,
Yeah.
and if I don't get a read on somebody straight away, I'm always a bit like, I
I
don't like
don't like
this. It
it.
makes me
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
I don't like if I there was somebody recently,
Ooh.
I can't remember who it was. I got introduced to somebody recently, I can't remember who it was, and I just could not work them out. And I think I only spoke to them for a couple of minutes, but I could not work them out. And I think someone said like, "Oh, what did you think of so and so?" And I was like, it just freaks me out. It makes me think like, are they putting up a block? Do they know that I'm able to do that, or are they just a complete facade? And like no one knows that real person, or do you know what I mean? It's like I put all those things in my head then, and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on there. I hate it when I can't get a simple, quick read on whether someone's being themselves or sincere or any of those things. If I can't pick up on anything like that, I don't like it. I was
Yeah,
like, I'm no territory. I'm like, nope.
I make enemies for myself and problems for myself by like just picking up on things and then speaking about her, and people are like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I'm like, "I am just holding a mirror up to you, sir," or "I am just, like I've spoken about this on here before, but like I got fired from my last like inverted commas proper job because I called out all of the managers because I could see the behavior that they were all doing and it conflicted with what they kept telling us we should be doing.
Right.
And I would call them out and be like, "Hey, you keep saying that like everyone's not talking about everyone and that you're not talking about me behind my back, but you're talking about her. Like yesterday you were talking about her while she was working from home, and I would do it in front of them and call them out on their behavior, and they didn't like it.
No.
Funny enough, even though they were the ones with the bad behavior,
Yeah.
I was then the problem because I was calling out and recognizing their behavior because people don't like that. So
No.
yeah, I do make myself some enemies and some problems by just being honest. And some
Yeah.
people like that. Some people like the honesty, but others do not. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's quite interesting actually. Like that's something that maybe I'll talk to my therapist about. Can I see ghosts because I'm autistic? And my therapist will be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" But
How do
yeah,
we get
like
to this?
we're more, but like I always say to people, like we recognize patterns very well. So like when it's almost like being clairvoyant of like, well, I recognize the patterns here. This has happened before. I
Hmm.
know what's going to happen 6 months down the line. And then it happens, and you're like, fucking told you.
Yeah.
Same as like I pick up when, like, in the workplace, I'm like, you pair of doinking. People are like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, they're doinking. And I've got so
Yeah.
many theories bubbling around in my head that I can't say out loud that I know about people. And I'm like, I know what's going on there, sir.
Hmm.
Because people don't like it, and then they get freaked out when they're like, "How do you know?" And I'm just like, "I just know."
I just
So,
know. Yeah.
are we more? I think,
Intuitive.
yeah, I think like neurodivergent people. are quite often more likely to be queer, they're more likely to be gender fluid or trans, they're more likely to be, all these different things, because I think we feel so other to everybody else. And I think quite often we are drawn to darker subject matter like horror, like true crime, to weird shit like cryptids. And is it because we long to run away to the woods like Bigfoot and live in a cave, and just people think we don't exist and just make noises, basically stimming? That's all the Bigfoots do. They just stand in the woods and stim, hitting trees and growling and shit. They're stimming, they're autistic. That's why they're hiding. They need their quiet time in their cave. I'm interested in this theory I've just untapped now, that people who are neurodivergent are more likely to believe in cryptids and ghosts and things, because we recognize energy and patterns more than other people. Okay, I'm going to do a PhD on this now. I'm going to be Dr. Sam. You're going to be my cryptozoology consultant, and I'm gonna do some research about neurodivergence and perception of ghosts and stuff. Okay, maybe I'll do that. Maybe my friend is making a TV show at the moment about ghost hunting, with like a nice mix of skeptics and believers. And we've just chatted about it before, not to go on the show, just like, he's like, would you do a ghost hunt? And I'm like, absolutely the fuck not. And now I'm like, scientific research. Will I be the one who the ghost comes up to? Like, I went to Abby's relative's house the other day, and she started going to tell me about the fact there was a ghost in the house, and I was like, don't fucking tell me, because I won't come in the house. And she was like, you won't know, the ghost is only like active in the evening, and they've had an exorcism, and there hasn't been any activity for a while. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. And she was like, it's one particular room upstairs, I wonder if you'll know. And I was scared going upstairs, even though it was the loveliest house and it was so beautiful. I was like, because I was scared that something would happen. And she said, do you know which room it is? And I said, yeah, it was this one. I just knew. I don't know why. I just knew that it was that particular room. And she was like, yeah, this used to happen. I've experienced it. This person has. And I was just like, yep, not going back up there. Thanks. But yeah, now I'm like, I want to do some research into autism and ghosts. Hello. Kat, don't be a head on the microphone, love. Interesting. So, I mean, as we've been talking about cryptids and stuff, I know we're going all over the place because that's just what we do and what we do on this podcast. But cryptids in horror movies, I think, is a really common thing, and mostly like shitty B movies, and said with love, shitty B movies and indie horror and stuff. Do you enjoy cryptid horror? I'm assuming yes.
Yeah, I do. Because I do like the shitty B movies. I just think they're just silly. Do you know what I mean? Like all the silly ones that you just watch on like the free apps you can get on your TV.
Tubi and shit.
Yeah, all those sort of ones. But I feel like there's been some good ones. Like, did you see Antlers?
Yes, that's on my list. I made a list of films I've seen, and I don't remember enjoying it. I remember just being like, because I think there was quite a lot of buzz about it coming out. People were really excited. They were like, Wendigo film. We haven't had a Wendigo film before. Yeah. And the film itself, I remember just being like, but I'd watch it again. I'm guessing you enjoy Antlers.
Yeah. Antlers I really liked, just because I think it was like a different take, because like you could easily do a Wendigo film where it's like campers go to the woods and they're being tracked and hunted by a Wendigo, whereas this was more of like a family drama slash a good kind of just a trauma. It's because it was a kid as well that was like harboring a secret, and so I thought it was quite nicely done in a sense that it was a very interesting material that wasn't done in a cliche way, if that makes sense. So I did quite enjoy that. I recently rewatched the Mothman Prophecies, which is okay. I feel like this time I watched it, I didn't think it had aged very well.
I've only seen
The
it once and I don't remember much about it.
typical
But
2000s heavy CGI,
yeah,
all of that sort of stuff. So like I think I watched it not long after it came out and being quite like, oh, that was a bit creepy. But watching it now, I was just like, "It's a bit crap."
yeah. My
Which is
friend
a
found
thing.
it on VHS at a car boot recently and gifted
Oh,
it to
nice,
me. So it's on my shelf. So I'm going to watch it on VHS soon just to
nice.
like revisit it. But I don't remember it being very good.
No, it was Um,
Because I feel like
again, it's
Mothman would never. Like, don't blame Mothman for that shit.
I
Like,
know, and also it's again, I can respect the fact that it was done from a different perspective, as in it wasn't like people being hunted and murdered by Mothman. It was just almost like something weird happened, and I think it might be linked to this legend about a thing called Mothman, and trying to piece it together and work out whether this thing is real and all these things that the person's seeing and stuff is real, or whether it's just wanting it to be real because it would give answers to some things. But yeah, I feel like I can't recall if I've seen any Loch Ness Monster films apart from bad ones, as in like really old ones that were probably just like say B movies, old creature feature type things. Um,
when I was just doing some Googling because my brain isn't working today and I couldn't think of hardly any films. I wrote down a bunch and I was like, let's do some Googling. And the one came up called Loch Ness. Oh, I didn't write it down. Something to do with Loch Ness anyway. And I need to check now because there was a big director attached to it. And it's sort of like a mockumentary kind of thing. Let me see. Because I remember thinking, oh, that looks real good. All right, the film is, I just Googled, it's called Incident at Loch Ness from 2004. And this is on a list of, let's go to the title. It's 6 underrated horror movies inspired by cryptid creatures on Bloody Disgusting. And
okay.
this is like ranked at number 2, which I think is good. It says, with Nessie being one of the most iconic cryptids, I've always found it strange that there are very few genuine monster movies about this Scottish legend. That being said, there's one strange Nessie-focused film that I'd recommend to cryptid enthusiasts. Directed by Zach Penn, Incident at Loch Ness is more of a cinematic love letter to German filmmaker Werner Herzog than anything else, but it also happens to be a fun little found footage film about everyone's favourite lake dweller. Presented as a film within a film, Penn's behind-the-scenes recordings chronicle Herzog's attempts to shoot a documentary about Nessie. Naturally, the Doomed Project devolves into a messy monster hunt with plenty of cryptozoological thrills along the way. Though your enjoyment of the strange picture may depend on how familiar you are with Herzog's other work, it is still one of the best cryptid movies out there. So,
Yeah. But yeah,
movie
like you
within the
said as well,
movie.
like I feel like Loch Ness Monster, there's just not a lot of it. Do you know what I mean? There's not. And I, I would like to know whether that is because people don't want to villainize cryptids? Because it's a bit endearing, isn't it, the Loch Ness Monster? The fact that there might be this ancient or a host of ancient sea-dwelling creatures, but they've never caused any harm that we know of. So it's almost like if we are people avoiding villainizing them because of what that could create, if people then think that they watch a film and think, oh no, this thing's dangerous and I'm going to the Highlands next week, so I'm going to try and kill one. Do you know what I mean? It's just like it is weird. I
My
think
theory with why we haven't had more Loch Ness stuff is that we've already had the perfect representation of Nessie, and that is the Family Ness,
the
the
family
animated
nest. Yeah,
series from
yeah,
the early 90s, which
yeah,
was one of the greatest TV shows ever made.
yeah.
I have it on
Agreed.
DVD somewhere in my collection. And I just don't think we need another representation
No,
of Nessie. I
no,
think that was fucking brilliant.
yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Again, thinking about the weird shit I liked as a kid, that was one of my favourites. Count
yeah.
Dracula, Trapdoor, all the spooky shit, all the
Oh
weird
yeah,
monster
Dracula.
shit.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's interesting because like everyone knows about Nessie.
Mhm.
somehow. I don't know, like, you just know about Nessie.
Yeah.
And my dad goes diving, and he went up to the Highlands a couple of weeks ago. And I said, "Are you going to Loch Ness to dive and find Nessie?" He was like, "No, why would I do that?" And I was like, "Why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
If you go in
Why are you
diving in
going then?
lochs and lakes up right in the Highlands, why are you not going to Loch Ness to dive?"
Yeah,
I just found
exactly.
that really weird why you wouldn't do that. But fine, Dad, wherever. Go and
Whatever.
go and just dive in boring lakes without Loch
Yeah.
Ness. But yeah, sorry, I don't know where we were. You were saying about Loch Ness films.
Yeah, just sort of saying that. Yeah, I just don't think there's that many to do from. I think when I've looked it up, I think the most commonly used cryptids in horror films are like Yeti. Yeti
Mhm.
comes up quite a lot. I feel like they try and make Yeti almost like the evil twin of Bigfoot. So Bigfoot's like the soft, cuddly, just a nice guy hanging in the woods, and Yeti's like his evil twin that's like up in the snow and he's angry about it, so he goes on rampages and eats people. That's
We've
the kind of way.
seen we've seen Monsters Inc. and we know that the Yeti's actually really nice.
Yeah, exactly.
And
We
he just
know.
likes to make snow cones and don't have yellow snow cones from him.
Yeah.
And but then we grew up with that skiing game on Windows, probably Windows 95, where you had to ski down the mountain and the little
Mm.
Yeti would run out and eat you. Do you remember that
Oh,
game?
yeah, I do remember that
So
now.
we've
Yeah,
we've been
I'm
brought
not
up,
remembering.
yeah, we've been brought up
Yeah,
that
we
the
have been
Yeti's
brought up.
bad.
Yeah, Yeti bad, Bigfoot good. I mean,
Yeah,
Harry and the Hendersons, he was a laugh,
he
wasn't
was
he?
a good egg.
He was a good egg. Well done.
Harry and the Hendersons is on my list, so I made a list
Hmm.
of like films with cryptids in. I
Yeah.
think the very first point I need to bring up about movies with cryptids is to shout out my friend Tom Hughes of Ritual Video. He's been on the pod a few times. He's fucking obsessed with cryptids. He's got
Mm.
cryptid autism. I need to introduce you to, because you could just get so fucking autistic about cryptids. It would be I would just sit there and just be like, yes, just feeding. I'd be like a Colin Robinson energy vampire, just being like, yes, they're talking about Frogman, yes.
I was going to talk about Frogman as well because there's a cheeky little sequel coming out soon, isn't there?
Yes, that's on my
Soon.
list. That's on my
Yeah.
list. But yeah, Tom's made some cryptid movies himself. He's made Fox Hollow, which is fucking great. You can watch Fox Hollow on POV Horror. I'm not sure if that's paid or free, but either way, go and watch it. It's fucking great. It's just a
Mm.
film he made, him, and he directed it, edited it, did all the work, and acted in it. With actor Paul Black. It's just the two of them. They go up into the woods locally, and I think they spent like 4 days up in the woods making this film. And it is looking for Bigfoot essentially. It's a found footage movie, shot on like action cam, like body cams and like little cams. It's just over an hour long. It's fucking great. Like,
Nice.
even though I know Tom, I have said this before, like, I know Tom, I know he was fine. He sent me the movie. I was still like scared for him when I was watching it. I was like, because it just felt so real. And I think that element of like knowing the area it was filmed in, knowing knowing the people in the film added to that realism for me. And it was fucking great. And he's got another film coming out this year called Monster Hunt. And it's a completely different vibe to Fox Hollow, but it feels like it's in the same universe because
Yeah.
Paul Black's character from Fox Hollow, Trapper Hardin, shows up in Monster Hunt as like a local cryptid expert, and he's talking about these cryptids. So it's a comedy film. It's so fucking funny. It's very, very Welsh. And I think it's coming out like late summer. So once it pops,
Okay.
well, once it comes out, I'll obviously like share some more information. So keep your eyeballs peeled, people. Follow Ritual. I think it's Ritual_video on Instagram. He'll put the information out there. But I don't want to spoil anything in it, but it's very funny. There's several cryptids that are being hunted. not in a bad way, like trying to track them
Okay.
down hunting, like a nice way.
Yeah, yeah. Want 'em to
Um,
make friends with them.
and it's filmed like part documentary, part like behind the scenes kind of stuff. There's some brilliant stuff in there talking about like the local legends and interviewing people. And it's just fucking great. And you can tell when you watch these films that like Tom absolutely loves cryptids and local legends
Yeah.
and stuff. And they're talking about which you might find interesting. When they talk about, oh come on, brain, you can do it. When they talk about like Bigfoot in Monster Hunt, they refer to it as the Gwaiddi, which is like the howler, and it's like a
Okay.
Welsh. I think it's called like the Welsh howler. So it's like a
Yeah.
Welsh iteration of Bigfoot, which
Yeah.
is really interesting because I've not heard of that before.
Mm.
So I like to imagine that there's like a special kind of Welsh Bigfoot that like lives up in the valleys, in the mountains and the forest, and sort of turns up and goes, "Hiya boys, how are you?" and then fucks off back into the trees. Like
Yeah. Probably.
it'd be delightful. But yeah, Fox Hollow's on POV horror. It's really good. And then yeah, Monster Hunt is coming out later this year, and it's really fucking funny. I was in it very briefly, but my acting skills were too good, and it was just too serious and
Yeah.
intense for the vibe of the piece. So I've been cut out of it, but you know, it's all good. I'm just clearly too good an actor to
We're gonna
to
have to cut her out because that's all people are going to talk about otherwise.
yeah, they'll just be like, wow, that performance of, I think my name was Kelly. I had dungarees on and a plaid shirt. It was a whole thing. See, that's when you know you love your friends, when you put a plaid shirt on to be in a film, because you won't get me in a fucking plaid shirt. They look nice on other people, not on me. But yeah, gotta shout Tom out at the beginning.
Yeah.
Another film I've talked about loads on this podcast and just in general is Rabbit Trap. And I don't think you've seen Rabbit Trap. It is it was out last year. I saw it at Grimfest.
Oh wait, has this got
Dev Patel.
so, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've not seen it, but yeah, I know of it, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's Dev Patel. I can't remember the lady's name in it. Sorry, lady in it. And then a Welsh actor who is from literally down the road, called Jade Crute, who is amazing. There's just three of them in this cast. And it's more of a like a folklore story than cryptids, but I don't want to say like what the specific thing is because it's probably a bit of a spoiler to the story, but it is like using Welsh folklore that has been around for years about mythical creatures, and is so interesting. And as you know, I've been like really interested in like Welsh film and Welsh horror, and watching Rabbit Trap like really sparked my interest in like Welsh mythology and stuff. So I want to go back. I've got a book that my mum bought me that is written for children, but it's lovely. It's like slightly more up to date modern tellings of like Welsh legends and folklore. So there's like little stories and things, and it's really, really interesting. So I think if you do your cryptid research project, I will be presenting you an annex about Welsh folklore, being like, these are all the things I learned about Wales.
The thing is, though, I think like it's like where's the line between something being a cryptid and what's it being folklore anyway? Because like at one point all of it would have just been folklore. It's only that they coined a term for it that made it feel like it's something different. And the chances are, like I say, there's like loads of films, British horror films that I've seen that have had like folklore stuff in it. There's like the Irish ones called like The Hollow, like the couple that move into a house and it's like fairies, but like the fae, like the tricksy kind of horrible type.
Oh, I watched that recently, actually.
And there's one where there's like a house, I think they're renovating a house and they've got red caps that live in the forest. and they're evil little buggers as well. I like all those little things, but again, it's like fairies, red caps, sprites, anything like that. Like if they're real, if we're saying they're real and they're not just folklore and fairy tales, would they then come under a cryptid umbrella as well?
Yeah, that's a point I was going to ask you about, because I feel like, and this is a weird conversation as a vegan. I feel like cryptids are animalistic creatures that generally aren't anthropomorphized. I can never fucking say that word. They are just animals, but they are weird animals that exist outside of our normal frame of like what animals do. I think when they're capable of speech, and this is where I say, like, about this weird as a vegan, like, animals can speak, we just can't understand them. Animals have consciousness and they are sentient beings. So, like, they're not lesser beings.
No.
But I feel like cryptids are seen as like animals that can't communicate with us. And then there are like more humanoid ones then, like the red caps and fairies and pixies and things, that I'm like, I don't think they are cryptids. I think they are just a different race of people. Like, and it sounds like such a stupid fucking conversation, but like werewolves, I don't think werewolves are cryptids, because they are people who happen to turn into a creature. Are they? Do you think they're cryptids?
I don't think they are, but they do come up a lot when you research.
Yeah, like
cryptids. They come up a lot.
So many werewolf films came up whilst I was looking for cryptid films, and I was like, I don't think they are cryptids. They're not. So, I mean, you've done academic research, you absolute fucking nerd. I love it. What, like, not to put you on the spot for your research recall, but like, what is the like official thing for cryptids? Like, does it say that they are humanoid, that they have ability to?
So, like, the term cryptozoology it's a relatively new term as well. I think that was only created in like 1920s or something, and it's literally just the two words merged. So like crypto is like Greek for unknown, I think. So it's Greek for unknown, and then zoology is the science of like the animal kingdom. So it's like they've merged two together. So being zoology would mean that it is animal. It's got to be something within the animal kingdom, so not human. And then crypto's unknown. So cryptozoology means basically like unknown animal study. That makes sense. So yeah, you'd have to have it would have to be humanoid life, like for example. I guess it would come under animal more than man. I don't really know. Like that's a weird one, because then if Mothman's a hybrid man moth, then some people would say a werewolf is a hybrid man wolf. So a little bit blurry, but by its very, very terms, that's what cryptozoology means. And then the term cryptid was coined in the 80s, so it's not even that old. It's only as old as we are, basically. And before that, they were just all classified as monsters. And then again, if we look at that, like the monsters, you'd say a werewolf was a monster. So werewolf is a monster, and so was Bigfoot classed as a monster, but now he's classed as a cryptid. How do we categorize them? Or do we just say that we just like cryptids and we think that they're just anything that's a bit bonkers? So it's potentially not real, a bit bonkers, and they all go in that category. So, but like the folklore thing as well. So like one of my favorite creature designs in horror films is in The Ritual.
That's on my list. It's beautiful.
At the end, like awful, horrible, like nightmare fuel, that thing, but so fucking cool, like so cool. And like that's obviously coming from like a folklore kind of idea, but it's kind of Wendigo-y as well. It's kind of, it looks like an amalgamation of very deep-rooted spiritual folklore, like a creature that exists. So again, it's just like, I don't think the term cryptid can be that black and white. And I think there's arguments for things being cryptid and things for being monster and things for being folklore. And I think there's no rules. I don't think there's any rules. As we already established that cryptozoology is a pseudoscience. So it's like, I think if you want to run with whatever you think is right, I don't think there's boxes that are that strict. There might be some people who do think there is, but I personally think, yeah, if it's a known thing and the likelihood is that it doesn't exist because no one's got proof, we can pop it in the cryptids kind of box.
Cool, thank you.
That's what I would think.
Yeah, because I was just going through like lists of stuff and I was like, is this a cryptid? Is this a monster? Like, Creature from the Black Lagoon. I'm like, he's a cryptid, right? Like, he is like a non-mythical because we see him and he exists, but he's like this ancient creature that appears, and I'm like, he's not a monster, he's just misunderstood. He's just a little guy. Just a little guy. Like other ones on the list, Willow Creek I really enjoyed. I thought that was really good. I think found footage and cryptids like go hand in hand
so well together.
I find the concept. Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, I think it's probably the best thing because, like you say, it's that fear of the unknown, and most people think, oh, I don't want to walk around the forest in Washington on my own, like in the masses, like millions of miles of forest, or I don't want to go there just in case I see a Bigfoot. So like making that the fear is that people are doing that and they've just come across something that you're scared of. That is what the fear is. So I think found footage is the best thing really for cryptid films.
Yeah, it feels weird. I mean, like I know, well, I can't remember. I don't think the Mothman Prophecies is found footage, is it? And it feels the concept of having like cryptids just like wandering around in a standard narrative film of like being shot a traditional way, and there's just like, oh, there's Mothman. Hi, Mothman. Like if, like you said, is something that people are going out and exploring, they're stumbling upon. Either they're going out to look for it, like they're doing it from like a YouTuber perspective, or whether it's just people on holiday and they're vlogging and then like, oh shit, there's a fucking Wendigo. Or actually just saying that the ritual isn't found footage, and that works very well.
Yeah.
But I think found footage is like a great way of doing it. One of the best ones I've seen is called the Point Pleasant tapes. It was out last year from 1289 Films. And I am going to get some of the team from the film on the podcast, but they're in America and we got time difference, and I keep arranging podcasts for when I'm getting burnt out and overwhelmed, and I keep needing to rearrange for them, so very sorry, 1289 team. But the Point Pleasant tapes is fucking great. It's set back in the 80s, so it's like really grainy footage. I think they shot it on VHS, which I love a bit of shot on VHS, which like Tom Hughes does as well. And the people who like wrote and directed it star in it as well. There's like a physical Mothman in the film. It's really good. It's fun. It feels like really authentic to the 80s. Like we grew up in the 80s, we remember what it was like. And I'm hoping it gets like a wider release because it's really good, and I feel like we don't get enough Mothman films, but we're getting more. There's one crowdfunding at the moment called Mothman. It's like a short film. So I'm following that on Instagram because I'm very excited to see like more Mothman stuff. Yeah. But that was the only stuff I could find like for Mothman. There's plenty of like Wendigo type films. There's fuckloads of Bigfoot films. I haven't seen most of them, but
there's loads and loads of Chupacabra ones as well.
Yes, I've never seen any Chupacabra movies, but I like the idea of them.
But there's lots of them. If you look up, like you say, if you look up cryptid films, just as a general search, like Chupacabra everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I love him.
Like the Wendigo stuff. We mentioned Antlers and the Ritual. Have you seen the
Hmm.
film Wendigo? I haven't seen that one.
I think I've seen it. Yeah.
That popped up on loads of lists. Obviously,
Yeah.
you're a Wendigo fan. You like a Wendigo.
Love
Um,
Wendy.
have you seen like what do you think is like the best Wendigo film you've seen? Would it be Antlers?
I think it probably would, just because, as I said already, like I liked that. Yeah, it wasn't a found footage one,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is, but like I would like to see that. Like I would like to see a found footage one, but I like the fact that it tried to be a lot deeper than that.
Mm-hmm.
I just like the design stuff as well. What you did see, I just thought it was really good. I think, yeah, I just think I don't know why more people aren't making cryptid films. I really like that's a really big question I'd like to put out to the universe and to
Well,
filmmakers,
Tom
and just
is making more cryptid films. He's got
yeah,
loads of cryptid films in the pipeline, and I've said
yeah,
to him, if he doesn't make a Mothman film, I will be very upset. And if I'm not
yeah,
allowed to be involved in some way, in whether I'm in it or I'm just on set when he's
yeah.
shooting and flirting with whoever's playing Mothman, being like, "Sup, Mothman."
Something like
Um,
that. Yeah. But I, but then if, I'm hoping like weird little ideas are picking up in the film industry and horror film industry. So like films like The Backrooms being made is mental. Like that's just literally like, you know, creepypasta stuff being made into films. Um, and just little those such small concept ideas that are being made. So I'm just hoping that maybe like this idea of like things that exist but we don't know much about might start picking up a bit more interest, folklores, cryptids, all those sort of things, because there's so much you could do with them, so much. um and they would always, if it's, especially if they, a lot of them were found footage, they're going to be a lot lower budget, like
mhm.
so much more accessible for people to make than trying to sell an idea to a massive um company or anything to try and make a massive film. It's more, maybe I need to buy a video camera and just go into the
I
woods
was
and make
literally going
some.
to say, is this us saying we need to make a zero budget found footage cryptid movie? Because I'm up
Yeah,
for that.
yeah,
What
maybe it
cryptid are
is.
we doing?
I don't know.
I mean, obviously, I want to do Mothman.
Yeah, I think a Mothman one would be good, especially because like I remember watching a documentary and it was like this old lady and she was one of the first people at the time, I think, that had a Mothman experience, and she was like a teenager where she went, you know, when like teenagers used to drive to like a lover's lane or something where they used to just go with their partner and like park up or whatever and just like spend like 2 hours making out and then drive home. I think it was a situation a bit like that, and she vividly explained what she remembers her and her friends seeing that night, and how it was like on top of a roof of a building and it flew down and was like the red eyes and like this big shadowy kind of like creature like following the car and stuff like that. I mean, how cool would that sort of thing be on a modern film with like an iPhone? Like, what's that up there? And like
Mothman's a perv.
a perv, yeah, literally.
Just like, ooh, watching
So
people.
easy, so easy to do, and more people just need to bloody get on it.
Well, we're making a film
People get
then.
on it.
We're making a Mothman film. I also want to make a Frogman film just because I fucking love the idea of a Frogman. I know we've had a couple of Frogman movies. You've seen
Yeah,
Frogman, right?
Frogman, yeah,
Yeah, I
but as I
haven't
said,
seen it yet. I need to
okay,
because we're
yeah,
getting Frogman Returns, I think is the sequel.
yeah, Frogman Returns, yeah.
And I saw a film, I think Ben might have watched it as well, actually, called God of Frogs that was
Oh,
out
I think that rings bells.
earlier
Sorry, never
this
watched
year.
it.
It was okay. It was
Yeah,
sort of like an anthology of this like frogman creature that was worshipped as a deity, and it was sort of told through different time periods.
mm,
It was weird, but they used a practical frogman, so automatically that gets so many points from me that it wasn't done with generative AI or
yeah,
computer graphics. It looked shonky. It was like watching the monsters fighting in Power Rangers. like when they
Oh
turn into
yeah,
like the Megazord and there'd be like a guy in a suit,
yeah,
like, ugh.
yeah,
It looked like that, but I don't care. I would rather see that 10 times
yeah,
over than see like CG or generative AI.
yeah,
So like, yeah, the idea of making a Frogman film is fucking,
yeah.
that's cool.
That's another reason why I want to just like I want to like deep dive in like British folklore and cryptid ideas because there's going to be so many things like people haven't heard of that you could write into like make a film of found footage and people would just think it's fresh material. Do you know what I mean? But then you will have stuff that you can lean back on to um know what sort of areas you want to film and what sort of things you want to do. And you know, like at the beginning of the Blair Witch Project, where they go to Berkensville and they're asking people like, "Oh, have you heard of the Blair Witch?" and kind of getting those bits where they're like saying about their experiences and stuff like that, and that being almost like documentary as well. I just think like anything like that would be just so fun. And like the Blair Witch is a really, really good example because obviously that was on such a low budget and that was one of the first of its kind. And it's the effects of that film is so good. And even to this day, like I'll watch it now and I'll be like, this is fucking scary. Like, so it's just if you know how you want to do it and how you want to present it, I think, yeah, like the possibilities are endless, literally.
Yeah, to fucking Tom, to go on about Tom again, like he mega prolific. Like I think he's got 3 films coming out this summer. And another one he's done, Wishing Well Road, is it's not a cryptid story, but it is another one I'm in. Oh, such a good actor. Look at me go. That's about like a local legend and there's those sorts of it's very much inspired by Blair Witch and he's going out there and asking people about the legend. Do they know anything about it? And I love that kind of stuff. And it's like you said, it's easy to do on a small budget. It's easy to do, do it like a vlogger type thing or like a hey guys YouTube
Yeah.
kind of thing. And it's really easy to do. And like I hate that saying of like, oh, anyone's got an iPhone, they can make a film because people just don't do it. I could do it. I got an iPhone 17 Pro Max or whatever it's called. Good fucking camera. I could go out and do it, but I don't. But maybe we should.
Maybe
Although I am too scared. Like I don't know how Tom made Fox Hollow. Like he camped in the woods in the middle of the night in the winter and I would be too fucking scared to be in the woods in the
yeah.
dark. So that's the only we'd have to make a daytime found footage because I'm scared of the dark. I'm
Yeah.
such a pussy. People make fun of me all the time. They're like, you fucking love horror and you're scared of the dark. And I'm like, yes, because I love horror, I'm scared of what's in the dark
Dark,
that
yeah.
I can't see that might be able to see me. Um, yeah, so just some other ones I noted down. I said about the Jersey Devil, the X-Files episode, because that was fucking hilarious. The last broadcast, which I haven't seen, but crops up a lot when people are talking about like found footage. That one has the Jersey Devil in it. It's like people going out trying to find the Jersey Devil, which I'm like, ooh, I want to see that. So I might watch that later. And then one that came up that I love and is like mega underseen, so I don't know if you've seen it. Digging Up the Marrow by Adam Green. This came up on a Dread Central article about cryptid movies.
Okay.
I don't know. This is where like I was interested to know about like cryptids versus humanoid monstery people. Digging Up the Marrow is a found footage faux documentary. It's Adam Green who did the Hatchet movies. I'm in love with Adam Green. I love everything he does. He is a sweet baby angel. And Digging Up the Marrow is one I found. I think I bought it off his website. Like during COVID, they were doing like live streams and they were trying to get stuff on their web store sold because obviously no one was making movies. So I just picked up this film Digging Up the Marrow and it's fucking great. This guy who is because I thought this was a real documentary, not going into spoilers, but like I thought it was a real documentary. And he gets a letter from this guy who's talking about this weird like underground world called the Marrow, kind of thinking like Cabal / Nightbreed type thing of there is this area called the Marrow, and there are these people living there. And then when this guy turns up in the film, it's Ray Weiss. So I was like, right, okay, this is not a real documentary. That was the only point. Because he's interviewing people, and there's like, he's at some convention and he's talking to like Mick Garris, and he's talking to all these like horror celebs. So I was like, oh, this is a real documentary. And then Ray Weiss turns up and I'm like, oh, okay, it's not. But it's them going to try and find proof of the Marrow and these monsters. And like that came up as a cryptid movie, but they're people that essentially they're people who've been born with deformities, like in Nightbreed, where they find this like underground place that they can be safe, and there's like a community that they can live together. It's really, really fucking good. Like, it scares me. Every time I watch it, it scares me. And it's got practical effects, and it's all done like pretty low budget as found footage. But yeah, that's where those triangle, excellent. This is where that kind of like cryptids versus humanoids thing comes in. I'm like, are these like, these characters have names, they have ways of communicating? Are they just people who've been like born wonky, which both of us can relate to? Please let me go live in the Marrow, or in Cabal, where I can just go be weird with the weird guys under the ground. But yeah, that's another film that could potentially be cryptids that I enjoyed. It's just made a list of stuff to be like, what about this one? Oh, and Troll Hunter. I haven't mentioned Troll Hunter off my list. But are there any cryptid movies that you've seen that I've not mentioned that are like worth a watch? Because I always want to watch more. And like we said, there's fucking loads of like shitty B movies, and if you go on Tubi and stuff, there's loads of them.
Lots of them.
Is there anything worth watching?
I'm just trying to remember. I'm actually looking it up because I want to say it's a cryptid film, but it's hard to know actually. Because I'm trying to remember it. Have you seen the Horror in the High Desert?
Yes. Very scary.
Is that Skinwalker?
I think so. There's a lot of Skinwalker films that came up on my search. I just remember watching that film and being so fucking scared that I didn't really know what was going on, because I was just like, oh, because found footage scares me.
Exactly. And that is a really good example of a film that really looks like a documentary. Like really, really looks like a documentary until it's the part where someone takes over and they're doing the investigating and actually going out there, and then you're like, oh, okay, now it feels like a found footage film. It's like one of those ones that's a bit in between. I've only seen the first one though, but apparently it's 4 of them now,
and they're all supposed to be really fucking good. It's just finding them. I think they're quite hard to come by, and people are probably like sailing the 7 seas or wherever people say for pirating, which I won't do. I can't remember where I watched Horror in the High Desert. I think the first one maybe was on Prime for free, and then you had to like pay to rent the other ones, and I just haven't got around to it, but I will at some point because they were cool.
I think it was the 4th one that came out last year, and I didn't know that there was a 2 and a 3, and then I saw that the 4th one was out, and people were saying it was really, really good. And I was just like, there's 2 in between as well. So yeah, I just obviously missed those completely. But yeah, when you were just saying about stuff, and I was like, I'm pretty sure it's Skinwalker kind of territory.
Yeah, there's quite a few Skinwalker movies came up in my search, and I was like, mental note, don't watch any of those. That's fucking creepy. That's like when you get with the cryptid stuff of being like, oh, cool, like I'm interested in Frogman, I'm interested in jackalopes, like fucking love jackalopes. I went through a phase of being obsessed with jackalopes. You'd be delighted to see those in the wild, wouldn't you? Be like, it's a fucking jackalope, or like, oh yeah. But if I encountered a fucking Skinwalker or a mimic, I would fucking shit myself. Like, there are scary ones, like so I know, like you said earlier about Loch Ness Monster and not wanting to vilify them. A lot of times the cryptids are vilified, especially for horror movies. We don't see them outside of horror movies very often, other than like Harry and the Hendersons. What cryptids do you find scary. Not like the existence of them, like I find scary, but like the actual cryptid themselves, like skinwalkers, I think are fucking scary.
Yeah. It depends, because I think this is going slightly into a bit of a deeper side of it, but some of it makes me wonder. So like chupacabra, for example, I've seen a lot of opinion that the chupacabra is a result of skinwalker trying to go between two different
Ooh.
entities,
Okay.
and that's why they look the way they do. So then it makes me wonder how many cryptids potentially are skinwalkers that have been spotted between two different identities.
Mm.
So like a Bigfoot, for example, could that have been somebody mid human and mid bear, for example, and
Yeah.
it's been humanoid to hairy? And so, do you see what I mean? So it makes you wonder how many. So skinwalkers are the scariest, 100%, because they could be to blame for a lot of other ones that we've seen and things. Wendigos, all of those sort of ones. Anything that's like a mixture of like two animals or human and an animal, could that also be explained by it being skinwalkers?
That's interesting.
But I know chupacabra, I've read loads of different bits about that, because obviously chupacabra is very south of America and north, like kind of like Mexico and
Mm-hmm.
into South America itself. But a lot of the kind of like deserty areas in like California and Mexico border and all that sort of stuff, is where like chupacabra sightings have been a lot more, and those are where there's a lot more native and spiritual kind of colonies of people. So yeah, it makes you wonder if skinwalkers are amongst us and they're turning into people, but they're also turning into a bit of everything, and we're catching them every now and then when they least expect it, and they are what people are citing.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, that freaks me out a little bit.
That's what I mean. That is kind of scary.
Yeah,
That's
like when
definitely
I
scary.
hear stories about people like living like in the Appalachia areas and people who are going on the trail and doing stuff, and they hear things like their voice being called out,
Yeah.
and it's their voice talking to them and stuff, and I'm just like, that is fucking horrific. Like, I'm used to listening to my own voice now. I listen to myself on podcasts. Obviously, when I'm editing and doing videos and stuff, I listen to myself back, and it's not weird anymore. But if I
Yeah.
heard my voice, even the software I use to like edit my videos and stuff, once it's finished exporting, it automatically starts playing. And sometimes I'm always in my house on my own, but sometimes I'm in my house on my own, it's quiet, and all of a sudden my voice comes out of the speakers of the computer, and I'm like, oh, what is that? And then I'm like, oh yeah, my video's finished like rendering and exporting. Let's go and like upload it or whatever. But like that freaks me out when I hear my voice unexpectedly.
Yeah.
So like the thought of just walking in the forest, like la 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 la, and then hearing my own voice call into me is fucking terrifying. Like, what would it want? What would it want from me? Is it gonna turn into me and take over my life? Is it gonna kill me? Is it gonna eat me? Like, what does it want?
What does it
And
want? Yeah.
that like unknown thing I find really scary. I think, like we said, like lots of cryptids are just like cute little guys. Like, I like the squonk. I relate heavily with the squonk. Just this like weird little ugly thing that just cries all the time. Like, it me. I hope there's a squonk film out there somewhere. Because we can make a squonk film. We'll need to go to America, so I don't know where we're going to get our money from for that. But we'll go to America and make a film about a squonk, and I can be the squonk. Like, if I get on all fours on the floor, I will look like a little wrinkly flesh bag, like a squonk. So I think I could do that. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But like, do you have? I'm going all over the place, but this is just what we do. Do you have like a favorite like cute little guy? Because I think like the squonk is so fucking cute, And jackalopes, they're adorable.
And jackalopes definitely are, but it's because you could have a jackalope as a pet, couldn't you? I guess.
Yeah. You could have a pet
Have a
squonk. You
rabbit
could
or
cry together.
you could. But I feel like you could probably hide a jackalope and just say it's a rare type of hare.
Mm-hmm.
You just like random hare with tiny horns. But anything that's cute.
Like selkies are cute.
Kelpies are cute. They are cute. Yeah, I think any of the ones that are like cute are ones that are familiar. So ones that are familiar to us, like everyday, like all those animals, rabbits. Like horse incarnation, like horse skeleton. Yeah.
Or like the ones that look a bit like seals as well. Sometimes they're like seals, aren't they?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, because again, like I like manatees, and manatees I know
I
exist.
love
But
manatees.
but manatees, some people date them back to believing that
Mermaids.
mermaids, yeah, people citing mermaids were manatees, which is mad because like they don't really look human-like at all. But yeah, just anything that's slightly familiar, I think. Yeah.
Like, I
I
keep
think all of
looking
them.
at your bat tattoo. Are there any bat cryptids that you know of? Like, is there like a
I mean,
Batman? Like, I'd love there to be a Batman.
I don't think there's a Batman, but I think there is like an ancient kind of like giant bat. I can't think of the
Ooh.
name of it, but like, you know, like there's like Megalodon that was like an old kind of like massive shark
Mm-hmm.
that they think exists, and like giant squids, but like the massive ones that are almost like krakens and stuff like that. I definitely recall seeing something in South America, maybe, of like massive bats, like size of houses bats. But yeah, not Batman, I don't think.
South America has some really cool cryptids and like legends and stuff. And I know it's a legend or a cryptid, but like one of my favorites is La Llorona. Like
Yeah.
her legend scares me.
That's scary.
It got introduced to me via a Halloween Horror Nights house at Universal Studios, and the
Okay, yeah.
imagery in that house is fucking terrifying. Like, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes you see stuff that's so scary you can feel like your insides fall out. It was one of those things where when I looked at it, I went, "Ugh!" Like I could feel my insides fall out.
Yeah.
And it just stuck in my brain, and I was scared I was going to get nightmares from this imagery. And I know that's the point of a Horror Nights house, is to like visually
Yeah.
scare you. But then like I
Yeah.
learned more about the story afterwards, because I keep getting obsessed with houses, the Halloween Horror Nights, and then reading the lore and stuff. And again, that's another thing that gets brought up loads on this podcast is Horror Nights. But learning about La Llorona, I was just like, fuck. And we haven't had a good La Llorona film. We don't talk about the one that's in the Conjuring universe. It's fucking shit. And there's another one that was made in South America called La Llorona as well. But it's more of like a political horror, and it just confused me. I didn't really understand. I've heard lots of people say it's very good, but it's not what I wanted it to be, of this scary, crying, wailing woman who's trying to steal and drown children.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Again, that would
horrifying.
be a really good kind of like found footage idea. Like, make it like creepy and real rather than just a story about it.
Again,
Like,
I'd
make
be
it
really
cool.
good at being a crying, wailing woman. I do it a lot. I'm very good at it. Very good at crying.
I can't remember what it was called when we went to Halloween Horror Nights on our honeymoon, so like nearly 2 years ago.
That's romance, baby.
There was a house that was called like Los Muchos something or other. And that was to
Oh,
do with like, South American.
was this in California?
Yeah.
Yes, that's one of the most beautiful houses they've ever done. That's the one, right, with the artist. And it's like you go into the artist's home, and
I think so, yeah. And it's like
and it goes through a bunch of South American. I know exactly the house you're talking about. It is
There was like
So beautiful.
a big bird person, like a bird man or
Yeah, and
something.
La Llorona's in there.
Yeah, yeah.
They reuse some of the puppets from the La Llorona house that scare me. The giant one where she's eating a person. Like,
Mhm.
fuck that scares me.
Yeah, 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 that's right.
Um, oh my God, so you've got to walk through with that giant puppet. I
Yeah.
love her. Like, I would love to meet that puppet one day. I love puppets, and she scares me. Um, I would shit myself if I went in that house, I think, because she's terrifying, but very
Yeah,
beautiful. I'm so
yeah,
jealous.
yeah. It was again, I think it's just like so overwhelming because you get ushered through them quite quickly as well, don't you? That's the problem. You've got people like up your ass and you're trying to like take it in, but at the same time you're like trying to get through it. So it's hard to kind of clock every single thing, especially in a house like that where it was like an incorporated house full of so many different ideas.
Yeah.
That it's quite hard to kind of really pick up every single thing that was in there. But
I want to do
and
the lights
huge.
on tours because I ended up having a massive fucking meltdown when I did Horror Nights because it was too loud.
Mm,
Um it was too loud. I couldn't cope with all the different sounds and all the different, like, I was too hot, it was too loud, there were too many people, and I just had an absolute fucking meltdown. Like, I couldn't cope with
mm,
it. But I'd love to go back and do the lights on tours where I can actually appreciate the houses, and because the amount of
yeah,
artistry that goes into the houses that you just don't get to see because, like
yeah,
you
no,
said, you just
definitely.
shoved through. And like that
Yeah,
house, I can't, it's gonna piss me off now that I can't remember what it was called. um but it was beautiful. Like,
mhm,
so many of their houses, like, I always find the Hollywood ones are a bit, they have a lot of boo holes in Hollywood. This is where I get really
mm,
like nerdy about Horror Nights. They have too many boo holes, and there's too many like blank corridors with boo holes in.
mm,
But that house was just
yeah.
a work of art. It was absolutely beautiful. Anyway, I've gone like massively off topic now, as I often do.
Yeah, yeah, we went to that one just because we were in LA for our honeymoon. I'd never been to Halloween Horror Nights before. I'd been to Orlando when it was happening, but my friend who I was with, when we went to the Orlando one, she doesn't like it. She didn't like anything scary at all, so I could not convince her to go to Halloween Horror Nights. So when we were going to LA for Halloween, I booked all of like the theme parky kind of like Halloween themed things. So,
Cool. Sorry, we were just interrupted by a knock at the door. A Sunday afternoon Royal Mail visit. How rude. So sorry if my little edit there was a bit messy, but we'll start wrapping up because we've gone all round the fucking houses talking about cryptids, haven't we? But it's been lovely, and I know we are going to talk about cryptids again because it's so interesting, and obviously we're going to make our investigative cryptid TV show that
oh yeah.
some big Amazon, Apple TV, someone's going to fund us to make
Oh,
it, obviously, so we can like travel the
100%.
world. Kind of
Yeah.
like, I want it to be like, did you see on Apple TV? Oh, fuck, what was it called? There was a show with Eugene Levy, and he's traveling around the world and he's participating in like local customs and different things, and it's just him being a grumpy bastard in different parts of the world. It is one of the
Nice.
most wonderful shows I've ever seen. Have you seen it?
Yeah. I've not seen it now.
Oh, whilst you've got Apple TV, watch it. It's great. um I want it to be like that. Just,
Yeah.
we've got a film crew with us. We're not filming it ourselves, and we just get to go to different parts of the world and learn about their customs and their monsters and their cryptids and their local
Yeah.
folklore. That'd be fucking
And
great.
then we spend a bit of time doing a bit of investigating and try and see if we can find the
And we
things
can shoot some found
that people come
footage
across.
whilst we're doing it
Exactly.
to
Shoot
make a
those ones too.
movie. Yeah, I love that. Cool. Well, is there anything else about cryptids that you wanna share about? um I know we've
Not
talked a
really,
lot
but
about cryptids, but
yeah, no, nothing in particular. But like, if anyone has listened or watched this and has some fun stories or anything like that, like I'm always up for hearing about them. So hit me up on socials or something. That would be cool if
yeah,
there was a bit of
we should ask people to submit stories and then read them out.
yeah,
about cryptids and ghosts. I like that idea. There's probably a million podcasts and vlogs and stuff like that, but now I want to hear people's stories because
Yeah,
they
100%.
scare me.
And that's what I want to do. Like I said, that's the idea that I want to do, is just like put my feelers out there, whether it's through social media or whether I was gonna say put out ads in newspapers, but no one reads newspapers anymore. Could you imagine?
Just
Like a
old
paper
people,
spread in like,
just Gladys next door being like, what's a
like
cryptid?
but yeah, I just want to get the like little weird feelers out there and just be like telling me your stories,
Yeah.
and then that might then move to me going to be able to actually meet with people and interview them and film it and stuff like that. So yeah, yeah, I would like to. It might potentially be that I would be able to really go really out there. If I'm making films, I'm releasing books. But do you know what I mean? Like just a compilation of stories from real people about real experiences would be nice.
Yeah, that sounds
Um,
awesome.
to do, like, even if it was like on a YouTube format, like you say, like, and then some massive bigwig executive for like Prime is like, we should make this YouTube series into a real series, and then I'll be like, how about a book as well? Book deal, anyone?
I'd love a book
And then
deal. That'd be fucking
yeah, book
great.
deal, book deal,
I'm just
yeah.
coming on this journey with you. Obviously, I've invited myself along. Um, I
Fine,
am
just don't
your
me.
I'm your producer, your ghostwriter, your manager. I am all of those things.
You're
Um,
all of those
I've
things.
just invited
And
myself along.
yeah, but like, do you know? Did you watch This Country? TV,
No,
like,
this keeps cropping up that I haven't seen it and I need to watch it.
okay,
But it's on BBC,
one
isn't
of
it? And I refuse to pay a license because the
yeah, it's
BBC are
on BBC.
bastards.
Yeah, yeah. But one half of the brother and sister, real life and in the show, they're the cousins in the show, real life brother and sister. The guy Charlie Cooper, he recently did a show. I think it was on BBC Three, where he went around and it was like a little bit folklory, like British folklore, and trying to find like a bit more obscure stuff. Because again, like we all know the big folklore in this country and stuff to do with like Arthurian legend and all that sort of stuff. But he was going to small towns and things and meeting people and doing little weird folky things. So yeah, it's like that kind of format I just think is really nice. And as you say, like throughout childhood and stuff, we grew up, well, my dad was obsessed because it was Michael Palin, but like, watching things like him where he traveled the world and went and met like native people and went and lived with tribes and stuff for a week and filmed it and like learned about their culture and stuff. It's kind of like people enjoy that. People enjoy being able to see things they wouldn't normally be able to see. So it's just taking it into a bit of a weirder area of cryptids and folklore and species.
Sign me up. I'm
Hell
involved in
yeah.
any way you need me to be, or want me to be, or don't want me to be. I'm involved anyway. And yeah, like get in touch with Charlie or me if you have any cool stories and stuff that we haven't like touched upon with like movies or stuff, because we're clearly gonna do that ADHD thing of getting really fucking excited about something. We'll plan it
Yeah.
all out and then it'll never happen. But
Never happened.
if
Yeah.
if we talk about it on a podcast, we can put it out into the world. You guys can hold us accountable, and then you can check in every now and then, be like, how's that YouTube series coming? And we'll be like, oh yeah, we forgot about that, oops.
Hey guys, where's the YouTube? What's happening?
Yeah,
But
we'll do
no,
something.
obviously me talking about my diploma and trying to get my title and stuff is like I've put it out to the universe now by talking about it with you, because like you knew about it. I think obviously Ben knows about it, and I think I've spoken to maybe like my mum and one other person about it. But now I feel like I've put out into the universe now that I'm doing these certificates and I'm going to be calling myself a cryptozoologist. So now I need to actually need to do that rather than just saying that it's a plan. I owe all the people in the world that honor of knowing me as that now,
Yeah,
because I put it out.
and I'm gonna be annoying you and being like, Charlie, done your coursework, done your
Exactly, as I said
studies.
to you the other week, I was just like, I need somebody to kind of be just like, oh, how's that thing coming along? Still not doing it? Just like almost make me go like, oh, fucking hell, yeah.
So I don't have to be like, oh, my friend Charlie. I can be like, my friend Charlie, the cryptozoologist. Like, I want to brag about that. Like,
Exactly. I want to
that's
change it on my
that's cool as
bios
fuck.
on socials, so it says Charley Errington, cryptozoologist.
Do it. You should do that even on like your email signatures in work. Like my email signature has like she, her, they, them, ADHD and autism, so that people know I'm special when they talk to me. But imagine like having like cryptozoologist on there as well. I would tell everybody.
I know.
And like I get
Can't wait.
excited because I'm the person who reads the film credits when I watch a film. And every now and then I'm like, whoa, look at that. That's a cool credit. You could be credited
I
as
could do
like
that. That's kind of
cryptozoologist consultant.
exactly. That's another thing that kind of like spurs me on to do it a little bit. Is just like if I had like just a website that I could like link tree on my socials, and someone just happened to go on it because they were like, "Oh, what is this about?" And then they went, "Oh, my mate John's making a documentary about that. Maybe I could hook those two up to talk about it, and you could be like you say, a consultant on something." So
That'd be
who
so
knows?
fucking cool to have that on your
Exactly.
IMDb
And
profile.
also, I've done a little bit of research, and I don't think, I might be wrong. It might just be that these people don't have very good websites or have websites at all. But there are no female cryptozoologists in the UK. I don't think. I think they're all
Wow,
male.
there will be soon. That will be you. So all the people listening who are gonna want you to be the cryptozoologist consultant as the UK's only female cryptozoologist, um, where can they find you? How can they get in touch to get you to consult on their
They
film and just
can
follow your awesomeness?
Yeah, I mean, Instagram is kind of the only place I really am, and that's obviously linked to Threads. So those two things, I am looking at my own handle because I don't actually know. Charlie underscore horror on Instagram is probably best place to hit me up with any cryptic um secrets and special stuff.
Yeah, I'll put the links in the show notes, but that's Charlie with an Ley, not an IE.
Yes,
So
yes, it is. Yeah.
you can find Charlie. So yeah, thank you for coming on. I know we've
Oh,
already talked about
for
you coming
having
on
me.
again, so listeners are going to be like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, is them pair together
Horror
again?"
again.
They're gonna be like, "Oh God, is them pair talking about fucking Mothman and whether you'd shag Bigfoot?" But it's fine because I find my people like you, and then
Yeah.
I cling on to you with my little grubby hands, and then I'm like, right, you're involved in everything I do now. So
Yes,
we're gonna do more episodes. We're gonna do cryptid shit, and people are gonna be sick of us. But if they are, that's their problem. I think
that is their
they
problem. Or
clearly
they just
aren't
need to get on
cool.
board. Just join us. Join us.
Yes,
Join the cult.
the cult of cryptid. I like that.
Cult of cryptids.
Okay, new Instagram handle, cryptid cult.
Cryptid cult.
And if it's already taken, we'll do the 2000s MySpace thing, X cryptid X cult X,
Yes.
so that we can
Yeah.
have that as a handle. And I think I
Sure
might
have
just
it.
set that up right now once we finish recording, so I can be like, yes, cryptid cult. I love that. Yeah, so go check out Charlie. Go follow Charlie. Go see what Charlie's up to on Threads, because she's just on there calling men out and being a little troll to absolute fucking
I am.
dickheads, and I love
Yeah,
it.
I do love it.
I enjoy a
Absolutely.
screenshot of you shouting at men on the internet is what I live for. I love it. So yeah, go check out Charlie on Instagram and
Yeah, on my
Threads,
female rage. Yeah.
and go encourage Charlie to get the coursework done, get the cryptozoology title, and then
Yeah.
start doing cool shit like consulting on films, and then you can have even more IMDb credits than you've already got, because you already got a couple because you're cool. So you could have more.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
need to get some more IMDb credits. That is one of the greatest things that's ever happened to me in my entire fucking life,
No,
is that I have an
it is
IMDb
good.
credit. As somebody who
Yeah.
lives on IMDb, having credits on there is the
Type your own name in it and you come up.
coolest
I
fucking thing
know.
ever. And
The only annoying thing is I can't add a picture of myself, and I
you have
really,
to have
really want to do
IMDb
that.
Pro. I
Yeah, I
have to keep
know.
talking myself out of spending £100 to be able to put my photo and a bio on.
know.
Just because, and I'm like, that is the biggest waste of money ever, but it would make me so fucking happy to not only see a name that I've chosen for myself, just in case anyone didn't know, like, Munster was not my name I was born with. I changed it by deed poll because I'm a fucking weenie. But to see, like, it's even more special to see myself on there and to see, like, a name I've chosen for myself as well.
Yeah.
To be like, this is me now, and now I'm on IMDb, one of my favourite websites in the world ever. Please sponsor me, IMDb. I don't know if you sponsor people, but I'd love that. Yeah, so to see my name on there, and where it says actor as well, I'm like, fuck off. I'm not an actor, but it's fine. It's fine. We love it. But yeah, I want to spend £100 and join IMDb Pro so that I can have my little face on there as well, being like,
I'd like get Ben to take a photo, like a proper headshot photo of me, and kind of almost like a blue steel, like really like professional.
yeah.
Fun.
I've already written my IMDb bio in my head as well, so I know exactly what it would be. So I should just do it, really.
Yeah, mine would probably just be early credits for costume work. However, she couldn't be bothered to do that anymore.
Although I think she should. I think she should be a costume consultant and cryptozoology consultant. Because costume is one of my things that I get really excited about. Cinematography, costuming, and score. And practical effects. That's like the 4 things I really look for in movies. Don't care about the actors and the script. Just shit. Don't care. As long as it's got them things in it, it's great.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Definitely works.
Excellent. Right, I'm gonna let you go now because I'll just talk at you all fucking day. Okay. So everyone's gonna come follow you and learn about cryptids and cheer you on.
Tell me about cryptids.
Yeah, tell you about cryptids, learn about cryptids. We now need to have
one. Do tell me.
Yes.
I'm not gonna judge you. I won't judge you, I promise. Come to me and you tell me what you've seen. I love it.
That's amazing. Right, okay, we're gonna snip that out. That's gonna go on social media and you're gonna start having loads of weird fucking messages from people going, I seen the Bigfoot, I did. Or down the river by my house, there's a big monster thing that lived down there. It's excellent. They're all gonna be from Wales. They're all gonna be from the valleys. Cool. And none of them are.
Where was it? Everyone send me your what 3 words. I want everyone's what 3 words so I can go and find these places, and
I'll drive.
Find out for myself.
Yeah, I'll drive. I'll bring my iPhone 17 Pro Max and it'll be great. So yeah, thank you so much for coming and talking about cryptids. Like I said, we'll get you on again soon to talk about Pin probably. So that's something for people to look forward to, that fucking weird film. But I think that'll be a really fun conversation. So we'll definitely do that, and we'll probably do all sorts of nonsense again soon. So thank you so much for coming on. It's been a delight. Everyone needs to go.
Thank you so much for having me.
I always feel like I have to bully people to come on, but you were quite enthusiastic about it, so thank you.
Yeah, you literally said, what are you coming on to talk about? And I went, I don't know, cryptids.
Like, yes, but I still feel like I have to like twist people's arms that they're like, why the fuck do I want to talk to you, you weird little freak? But you know, we've had a lovely time, haven't we? It's been great. So we have had a lovely time. Thank you for coming on, and thank you everyone for listening. Yes, thank you everyone. Yeah. Oh, we made a mess of saying bye, didn't we? Okay, we'll just do it. We'll just do it. Bye, Charlie. Bye. Bye. Oh, fucking hell. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to my episode with the brilliant Charley Errington, amateur cryptozoologist. I've had a great time, and like I said at the beginning, that little ramble during the podcast where we're talking about let's do this, we have started chatting about doing things like that. So yeah, that's one of my little projects that I was saying about at the beginning of the episode. Keeping myself busy, giving myself some cool things to do and look forward to, whilst remembering that both me and Charlie are neurodivergent. And I'm sure she won't mind me saying that since we recorded, she's actually had her autism diagnosis now. And I know she knew, and I told her that she'd been peer reviewed and she is autistic. But she's now officially autistic. She's now officially ADHD like me. This is why we get on so well. Brains be braining and they be braining very similar. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed listening to us chatter away. Charley's amazing. Go follow Charley on Threads because she's the queen of horror threads, and also her horror account on Instagram. As always, I've popped all of the links in the show notes. Please do give Charley a follow, give me and the podcast a follow. I am trying to work on all my social media stuff that it takes less mental energy, but also trying to put more work into it and spend a bit more time writing reviews, doing written content because I really enjoy writing, and then linking that to some other creative projects. So please do go give me a follow, go say hi. I love hearing when people actually listen to the episode. I don't believe it. Every time someone says, great episode, Sam, and I almost want to quiz them and say, did you actually listen? But no, I do really appreciate it when people listen and follow and tell me that something in the episode resonated with them, or they just found this thing funny, because it's nice to know that people are watching. And as I always say, I'd do it anyway, even if nobody was watching or listening. So if you can leave me a positive review on your podcast platform, follow me on the podcast platform, leave comments, share, do all those lovely things. If you appreciate the podcast, please share and share it with others who may also appreciate it. And I appreciate you for making it to the end of this episode, listening to me ramble, trying to wrap things up. I will talk at you again soon. Thank you for listening. Love you. Bye. Horror Hyperfixations is supported by Hell on Shirts. Hell on Shirts make shirts for the sick and make the best horror and cult movie merch. I'm super proud to be an ambassador for Hell on Shirts. They are an amazing, independent, Welsh family-run business, and I've been following them since the start. Visit their website at hellonshirts.com to see the sickest t-shirts, long sleeves, hoodies, the comfiest joggers ever, skateboard decks like I've got up on my wall, and loads more cool stuff. With officially licensed merchandise and artwork from some of the best artists in the world, you're absolutely going to find your new favourite shirt. So go check them out on social media, visit their website, and if you use code Monster10, you will save money on your order. Thanks, Hell on Shirts. Love you. Bye.